Hello, everyone. Sideways. One moment. There we are. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Surprise, maybe. It's William here from Allegory Gallery. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Marianne. Thank you for joining in. So we were going to start our reset week this week and not have our normal lives, but we came up a little bit shorter than we would have liked to kind of confidently go into shutting down all sales starting today. So we extended our online sale and increased that discount for a little flash sale for a little bit. So it's actually 30% off today. If you'd like to grab anything from the online store, that'll end at midnight tonight. We're having this one more live sale today. So hopefully with all of this, it'll push us a little bit over where we need to be to confidently go into shutting down. It's not too bad. We don't feel too bad losing one day because Andrew and I have both been doing things in the background to prepare for this and doing some things like I've already started working on the website and some other things like that that we were going to do during this week anyway. So hopefully losing a day won't matter too much, and hopefully it will actually push us into a point where we feel comfortable closing down starting tomorrow. So we'll see. We had some unexpected things come up, and so that always throws a little wrench into things. So we're hoping today we'll do it, but we'll see. We'll have to see how things go. We had hoped to go to a complete close down for a week to really push things through a little bit and kind of cut things off and allow things to get more organized. But we might have to do a reduced system instead of an all-out shutdown system. So we'll see. But in any case, we will have the reset week happen. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Thank you for joining us today. If you're out there, please say hi. I know that we weren't expecting to be online today, so I don't know how many people will join in thinking that we might not be here or shouldn't be here technically. Sorry, I'm looking to turn on that light over there. There we go. And I tried streaming on Instagram again, but it's not working again today. So we're going to stop the Instagram over here and give up on that for a little bit today. So how's everyone doing? How's your Monday? It is Monday, right? I feel like I'm so out of it as far as what day it is because we were really planning, like going into the weekend, planning this reset, and then kind of didn't work. But we had a good weekend. I was up at the store. It was slow at the store. We had a few people stop by, but no real sales to be had at the store this weekend. Though my friend did come in from Seattle, and we got to hang out with him, so that was nice. We did that on Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. And that was really nice. It's good to see him. We don't get to see him, but used to be almost once a year he would come into town. But now it's like every other year. So it's been a while since I've gotten to see him. And we've been friends since kindergarten. So we've been friends for probably, over 39, 40 years. So I feel really fortunate to have a friendship like that for so long. So it was really nice to see him, and we hung out and went out for dinner and just caught up a little bit. And then he had to head back. He was mostly in town for family. There was a kindergarten graduation for his nephew, and so he was in town for that. But he flew back out, so he's back in Seattle now. Sunday, I'm trying to remember. Sunday, I was at the store, and I worked on some things at the store and did some cleaning and things like that. And we came home and we started preparing some things again. I put the extra Laura Lunsford items in the D-Stash group, so if you missed any of those from the live, the ones that are still available are in the D-Stash group. I did not put in the extra things. We did a bunch of extra things that night, kind of coordinating things and matching things that we played around with on Friday nights live. And I did not put the extra things in the D-Stash, but the Laura pieces, if you're wondering what pieces are still available, I've gotten a few emails about that. You can check out the D-Stash group. That's Andrew Thornton D-Stash on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you can join that group and check out everything there. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so like I said, best laid plans and all that, but we're here tonight, and I like hanging out. The reset week always felt like it was going to be hard for me anyway, because we weren't going to get to hang out with everyone out there. But in the way that my day kind of functions, I try to get up early, but it usually doesn't work too well because we work late into the evenings. Even these lives, it's not abnormal for us to go until 10 or 10:30, right? And so by the time I do the spreadsheet and get the invoices out and sort everything out, it's oftentimes just about midnight, sometimes 12:30 before I'm finished with that. And then we still have to eat and cook and eat, usually cook and eat. And then we have a few things that we do at the end of our day that way too. So it is one of those things that, the reset week is going to be good because first it's going to be hard because we're not going to get to talk to you all, and I'm going to miss that. And we might still do some lives, but just in a different way that doesn't have the selling component, which means I don't have to sort things and invoice and do all that, which will save, another hour and a half of work, where I can do something else that I need to do, like get caught up on shipping. And that's the main thing for me. There are three main things really. Hey, Kimberly. There are three main things for me that I'm hoping to do for the reset week. One is get caught up completely on shipping. That's a big goal. I don't know if I can do it in 1 week, but with shipping, with orders shut down as far as not getting any more, it will help me to kind of have a cutoff point and really just kind of work through what I've got. So if any of you are waiting for some shipping, hopefully by the end of this week, early next week, you should see packages going out. That's the goal. That's if we can get ourselves in shutdown for the reset week here. And then we have the online store. I'm working on a reboot. It's a redesign of the online store. It's a little more complicated than I thought. I thought I had it figured out, and then as I was working through it, something threw me off. So I need to figure that out. But I'm hoping that the new online store will be, I want to say more welcoming, and then I guess that's kind of right. But the online store right now, as soon as you tune in or log into it or visit it, you will end up seeing products. And it really doesn't talk about who Andrew is. It doesn't talk about who I am. It doesn't really talk about our store that much. It doesn't talk about Star Cottage Studio that much. If you see us on social media and you find us that way and you're like, oh, I know them and I've hung out with them and we do the lives, and then you go to the website, it makes sense. You can kind of see things. We have links to things. But if you are not coming at us from social media and finding us this way first, then you go to our website and it's kind of impersonal, which is not us at all. If you know us at all, it kind of feels impersonal. It kind of feels like, who are these people? Who is this company we're ordering from? So we want to put names to faces to websites, things like that. And that's what the renovation or the renewal of the website, I hope, will do. Hey, Sandra, thank you for joining us. That's what I'm hoping the renovation of the website will do. It's a big goal, and like I said, I don't know if it's all going to be done in 1 week. This whole reset week is, it's a start of something really. And that's why we're not too thrown off by having missed a day here. Like I said, we've started some of this work in the background already, but also we know that it's all the things that we have to do are going to take more than a week. But this is to really get that running start, as they say. And that's really what it's about. And hopefully we'll get to it starting tomorrow morning. That's the goal. If we make a little bit in sales tonight, make a little bit in sales from the online store, that'll work, I think. We also need to move a lot of things around and organize Star Cottage Studio. And I've asked my dad if he wants to come over and help, because he's always talking about coming to help us. So he's going to come, I think, at some point and help us. He has some days reserved. I have to talk with Andrew and see when we'll be able to use some help there. I may see if my mom's available. She's super busy, usually with the grandkids. So I don't know if she'll have any time, but I knew my dad would probably have some time. So when he was helping us put brakes on the car, I asked him about that, and he gave me some dates. So we'll see if he can do it. Sandra says, I did my changes to the website when it was live. So easy. You can always, you can do the changes when it's live for sure. But the whole idea of shutting it down is so that no more orders are coming in. So it gives us the time to do all these things. With orders, coming in, every time I feel like I've gotten a little caught up on orders, we get more. And it's just me doing it all as far as the shipping is concerned. So between the lives and the online store and some other things we do, it's gotten, I've gotten somewhat caught up, but we're always trying to catch up. And I feel like if we were able to take solid time off with no orders coming in, we could get caught up. So that would allow me to catch up on that. So if I can get caught up on shipping first, if I can do that first, then yes, we can turn the website back on and I can work on the website in the background. That could be something. And that's kind of my goal, is to try to do that way. But we have so much to do. We'll see. Sam says you can always make a copy and work within the background. That's usually what I do. And yes, that's possible. But the way, because it's Shopify, the way I'm rearranging some things, I'm changing templates. And sometimes if it's not live, and this is what I've come up against, when you're making templates in a store that isn't live, or in a version of the store that isn't live, sometimes you can't preview it, or sometimes the templates don't actually hold. Like they end up in the live version able to be accessed, but not in the non-live version of the store. So this is where I thought I had it all figured out. And then I realized that these templates aren't crossing over. Some of them are being made and they're plopping into the live version where I can't connect pages that work with those particular templates in the background. And then sometimes they're in there, but then I can't duplicate them. So I'm still messing around with that. It's definitely interesting. I thought it was going to be easier because I finally figured out what I needed to do, and I'm like, oh, that's good. And then it did not. Let's see. I had a guy working on fixing the speed of the website, and then he just launched after he finished. Yeah, you can do that. That's how I do most of my updates. I always make a copy, and then I load up the update, because the templates and things always get updates, and then I preview it to make sure it's going to work. That's how I changed it the last time too, when we did the update. I usually always work on things in the background, but this time, because it's such a big update, it'll be easier, I think, to take it down. And anyway, we need to cut off the sales. That's the biggest thing while we're doing this. And so it kind of lets everyone know that we are down for a week, and or working through things. And it's kind of one of the most visible ways to let people know that that's happening. So we'll see, you know, but these are all things that need to happen, and we need to get kind of a running start on them. And the shutting down is more so that we know that there's nothing more coming in. Like, we know we need to catch up to this point, and we know that we don't have to go on the live and sell stuff tonight, and we can work through the evening and kind of keep working on the things that we normally stop working on at a certain point. Because, you know, I'm not an early morning person. Andrew's not an early morning person generally. We work at night. I get up as early as I can. I usually go to the cottage and do some shipping. Sometimes, depending on my day, and if I have to do lawn mowing or any other thing, you know, that time is not as long as I would like it to be able to work on things. And then sometimes we go up afterwards, after we eat dinner, and go back up to the cottage. But that's also, we often do things here around the house too. So the live, you know, out of my day, takes about 5 to 5.5 hours, probably on average. So when you figure 5 hours out of a work day on things that, if you shut down selling and you're not doing the lives, I'm saving 25 hours, 25 hours or more in a week. So that's 25 hours I can put toward these other things that I need to get caught up on. And that's really what the reset is to kind of take that out of our minds, that we have these particular things that we have to do. And we're trying to save up the money to get through that week, which was the hard thing today. When we looked over everything last night, actually, we planned it. Because we were like, not feeling super confident about this. And technically, if we shut down and we had to come back in the end of the week, we can do that too. It's not a big deal, but it is one of those things. We're trying to get this going, and trying to save some of the time and have enough saved up that we can not do these lives and not worry about pushing online sales. So that we can just focus on putting our heads down and doing that work. And that's really what it is. And it's really, you know, it's work that needs to be done. We want to keep everybody happy out there. So I would love to get caught up in shipping. And then we can get caught up on working on the studio, which would be nice. You need to hire someone for shipping. I wish we could afford it. We just can't. I 100% would, but we are not big enough to be able to afford it right now. You know, having Barb was one thing that worked out pretty well, because she was local and she was already kind of retired or semi-retired, and she didn't need a lot. But even that was very taxing, especially once I lost my job. That was very, very taxing on the business. And she kind of, she decided that she wanted to leave, which was, I'm not saying good news, but it worked out for all of us that she was ready to go. They've got a place now down in Florida, and they also are up here, so they're doing well, her and her husband. But it worked out that way. I wish we could. If I could hire someone, 100%, because shipping is not my idea of the fun. But it is something that we need to do, and somebody needs to do it. So it falls to me to do that, because Andrew's busy with a lot of other things, keeping the creativity part of things going. So that's what it is. Believe me, if I could hire someone to do it, we would. And we hope to get to that point again. That is the goal. And hopefully by shutting down for a week, getting caught up, and once we're caught up, because I've never really been caught up fully since even when Barb was here, we were still behind on things. So after her leaving, it got harder for a while, and I've still never fully 100% caught up. So it's one of those things that we know that's, you know, you can say a lot about us. Most things are good, I would hope. I think we try and do our best for people, but I know the one thing we fall down on is shipping, and that falls on me, and that's hard for me. And so we want people to feel like that they can trust when they buy from us that they're going to get things in a certain amount of time. That's very important, and it's something that makes my anxiety kind of bad every day, is worrying about that. So that is why we are trying, this is one of the biggest parts of the reset week, is to get shipping fulfilled and caught up. And once we're caught up, we don't really, we have orders daily, thankfully, from a lot of you who watch and some people in the online store. But once we get caught up fully and clear the decks, it should be easier for me to stay caught up. We don't get tons and tons and tons of orders, right? We're not a huge company. It's just getting to that baseline. And that's something that's been very hard for me to do, especially when, these lives, like I said, they take 5 hours out of our day. And I try to sleep 8. So, and there's all the other things you have to do in a day. And so I do my best to do what I can do, but this is hopefully going to push us into a better system. And hopefully we can start tomorrow. Hopefully we'll make some money on the online store today and a little bit here tonight. We'll see if y'all like anything we've got. And I picked out some good stuff, I think. We've got some bone, we've got some gemstones, I've got some lampwork, I've got some Czech glass. I've got some fun stuff, I think, for all of you out there. So hopefully you'll like some of this and want some of this. Sandra says, I know it's hard, right? It is. It is hard. It is hard. So it's just the two of us, and we're really running more than what 2 people generally would run. I will say that. Between, maintenance on our house and the store and Star Cottage Studio, between all of that and just being at the store 3 days a week, that takes away time from other things. We can't really, the store's not pulling in enough yet to be able to afford someone to sit and shop sit for us. So that's one of those things that we have to be there when it's open. We're trying desperately to keep the online store or the physical store open. We have considered, talking about closing that down. It's not something we really want to do. We feel like it could and will find its footing, and it will start to, be more prosperous, but we just have to get there. And, most of our business is coming from online right now in these lives, and we appreciate that a lot. If we can get the online, or if we can get the physical store back up to kind of where it was, a few years ago before the pandemic, we could do a lot more. We could, probably hire someone to do shipping. That would be nice. But we're just not there yet with the physical store. So that's one of those things that, and we hate to close it. I mean, we could rent out our building to someone else who wants to do something up there and just, kind of rent the property out. And that's a thought. But we hate to be another bead store that closes their physical location. There aren't many of them around anymore. And, people say that they want them. And I know it's sometimes harder to find them or find out that we're there. We're doing our best to get, some publicity around that we're open and we're available. But we're hoping that, people in the area will want a bead store and we'll start to frequent it. But we have to see. So that's the whole thing. We've got a lot going on, and we do more than what generally 2 people would do. I think if you look at many other bead stores out there that do kind of somewhat in the realm of what we do, generally they have more people helping them. And, we invest in different things as far as trying to grow and trying to, make sure that we have the best deals for everybody. I think that's a very important thing. We try not to raise all of our prices as much as we can. Of course, some of that will be happening. It's inevitable, but we try to do the best we can for people, and so that's that's how it is. Sandra says everything takes time. Trust me, I know. I'm trying to not go back to work and make this work. I know you are, and it's hard, right? It can be hard. Um, yeah, I'm trying not to get another job too again. That's been one of the whole big things is, I lost my job and it worked because of the way it worked, right? It wasn't it was a good bit of extra money, not extra, it was money that paid a lot of bills around the house. Um, but it was one of those things that it definitely helped, but it was a very particular situation. I could work late nights, I could work odd hours, and it made everything a lot easier. Um, so once that happened, it's been difficult for the two of us to handle things, but we're working on it and we're holding on. And I think I keep saying that things are harder and things are getting better. I should say that too. Things I think are getting much better. Um, I think more people are finding us. More people are tuning in. More people are helping us out and supporting us and seeing what we do. It also, I feel like we're on the verge of something the same but different. We're on the verge of doing some things that I think are really going to start pushing us in a new direction and in a good direction. Um, we just have to get everything going. We've got so many plans. Two people can dream up a lot of plans. Implementing them with just two people is not always the easiest thing, but we are doing our best. Um, we're trying to do our best. I'll say that. I know we fall down sometimes, but we are trying our best to do all the things and keep you all happy. We want you to be happy. We want you to feel loved. Um, and we have some things we're planning to implement, um, for kind of that kind of side of things. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot going on, but I think we're on an upward trajectory. Um, let's see here. Susan is here. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne is also here. Says, how's Gertie? Gertie is doing well. She is back to being her little powerhouse self. Her incision seems to be healing well. She's even with a cone, she's still managing somehow to find a way to be flexible enough to lick at it. So we're keeping an eye on her and trying to make sure she does not do that very much. Tallulah is helping by sometimes laying on top of her so that she absolutely can't do that. It's really cute how much Tallulah has been by Gertie's side and helping her. You don't realize these dynamics sometimes. I think like Tallulah has always been kind of the I don't want to say outsider, but she kind of is. It's cat dynamics tonight. Gertie and Idabelle look similar. Gertie's a tortie, Idabelle's all black, so they've got the same coloring. They look more like sisters. Tallulah is long-haired and gray and white, and we believe she may have had a different father, because apparently that can happen in cats. They can get impregnated by two different males at the same time. I had no idea this was possible before all this. Susan's sending good energy to you and your kitties. Thank you so much, Susan. Donna is here. Hello, Donna. So we think that maybe Tallulah had a different dad. But Tallulah's personality is generally, like the other two will cuddle up with each other and we call them like a bonded pair. But Tallulah's usually somewhere else and she'll sit separately from everybody. But when Gertie came home, first when we packed Gertie up, she tried to free Gertie out of the cat carrier. And then when Gertie came home, she sat immediately on top of the box and started purring really loud. And she has been pretty much by Gertie's side, watching her, taking care of her, cleaning her, sitting on top of her so she can't lick where she has the the cut. And even like, she's like protecting her, because there was, Idabelle was out in the kitchen, and Gertie and Tallulah were sitting with me on the couch, and Idabelle made a big noise out in the kitchen. She was chasing a bug. She was running around. She knocked something over. And Tallulah sat up, straight up right away, like sat kind of almost on top of Gertie. And just, you could see that she was like in defensive mode. She was like watching. Her eyes got big. She was watching to see what was happening. But she was like sitting on Gertie to kind of protect her. And it's so cute. Donna says, "Aw, that's so sweet." It really was. Animal dynamics and logic are so fascinating, says Susan. I always wish our kitties could talk human English. But the hub says it's more charming that they don't, right? Yeah, it's really, you know, for Tallulah being generally as much of a loner as she is, she has definitely taken to protecting and caring for Gertie while she's been going through this, and it's kind of, it's really sweet to see. Now, Idabelle goes in this Wednesday, so we'll see what happens and who takes care of who. Idabelle is kind of she is the alpha cat, I believe, in the house. And so Idabelle's the alpha. I don't know what things are going to happen when she goes down for her surgery and is down for a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see how she takes things and who takes care of her and what happens. But normally she and Gertie take care of each other. But since Gertie's been down, Idabelle has not been around her as much. I don't know why, but Tallulah has been taking on that role, so it's super sweet. So Idabelle goes in this week, and then Tallulah goes in next week, and then that should be hopefully a calm month going into July at least. We'll see. But yeah, so that's what's going on here. We've got a bunch of people tuning in. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure if people would see that we were live today because we kept saying we weren't going to be, but we are. We're here. The sale is still on in the online store. We extended it for a day and upped it a little bit to 30% off. So use discount code GRATITUDE in the online store through midnight tonight Eastern time, and you'll save now 30% off in the online store. One day only, extra flash sale. Just to try and move us over that finish line to get onto reset week. Yeah. So what have you all been up to? What's going on? I don't have my big bottle today. I had to throw my one bottle out, and I don't have an extra yet. So I'm drinking out of a cup, which feels so weird. And I feel like I'm not drinking enough because I don't fill this up nearly enough as I normally would if I drank a whole bottle. But it looks more normal, right? Susan says we had our first completely dry day in weeks. Hallelujah. Oh, that's nice. I'm sure that was very nice. We have warnings for severe thunderstorms until 10 p.m. tonight. So hopefully our internet holds up tonight. But we're supposed to have severe thunderstorms until 10 p.m. tonight. Hello, Angela. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne says our AC is fixed and my husband is getting over his infection. I don't think I knew about your AC or him having an infection. I don't know how I missed that news. I'm glad that that's all working out. I don't think I knew that. Geez, I hope he's doing better. I guess he is since he's getting over it, but wow. Susie's taking one of her dog's ACL surgery in the morning. I thought that was just going to say, I thought you had, I thought it was Tuesday you said. So let us know. You said you don't need any help, but let us know if you do, if anything comes up. No storm, says Susan. You all stay safe. Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know what kind of, they're calling for severe thunderstorms. Severe weather, I had a notification until 10 tonight, but it was supposed to start at 6. And It has not yet. The sky is still semi-blue. This way it's kind of gray. This way it's blue. It happened on Saturday since Susan. Oh, yeah. I have been online, but I've not been online very much. I've been trying to get online a little bit more, catch up on things, but barely see the people you want to see most of the time. Um, yeah, it's one of those things. So I wasn't sure if people would see that we're actually online because I wasn't sure that anybody would see us um, with the way social media is. Donna says not going on, but we have had the rain. It got bad on Saturday and yesterday with the wind, but it has been flooding bad. Oh boy, they had flood warnings for us too this weekend. But I mean, it did. The one day it did rain pretty significantly, but there was no flooding that I know of. Thunderstorms can move very quickly, says Marianne. Yes, they can. Yes, they certainly can. Yeah, so Andrew is not with us right now because he's on a meeting with, well, I don't know what, but he's in another meeting right now. He got up early this morning. Well, he didn't actually sleep, I don't think much. He slept for maybe like an hour, I think. But he got up early this morning because he had a presentation to give that I didn't know about. So he got me up earlier this morning, and he was going to do a presentation and needed a kind of a front-facing camera and a down-facing camera, and also needed to be able to play a presentation slide. And so we were up early this morning trying to figure all that out because we haven't done that in a while. And so he got up this morning to do that. And then he's been working on some polymer clay things, which he was hopeful to have ready for this live tonight. But I think with his meetings and stuff that he's been doing, he's not quite ready with them yet. But maybe maybe we'll see some of them before the end of this live. We'll see. I'm still thinking to put things in the D-stash. We started the D-stash with Laura's stuff yesterday. And I did that during the day while I was at the store. So thank you for anyone who's claimed any of that Laura stuff. That's still available in the D-stash group. So you can see what's available there. I've invoiced, I think, everybody who claimed up until a certain point today. So if there have been any more claims, I haven't seen them yet. But if you want to know what's available from her show, you can check that out. Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash is the Facebook group, and you can take a look at it there. I'm probably going to add some more things into that group tonight. I kind of ran out of time last night, and then we decided to extend the sale and delay our reset week by one day at least here. And so now I have some time. I think I'm going to try and throw some things in the D-Stash group for y'all, and we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Oh, Norma says, I'm with you there, Susan. Oh, Susan says, I will be so happy if I never hear another tornado siren again. I bet y'all are really getting hammered with that stuff lately. It's been hard. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, Laura Lunsford stuff is in the D-Stash group. It will go there. It will stay there. It will probably stay up there through this week. So you'll have some time to claim on it if you want to. I will still be checking things and invoicing for anything that comes in while we're closed down for sales. But but we won't be generating things. Hopefully we can get through. That's the goal. Anyway, best laid plans and all of that. Things come up you don't expect sometimes, which happens and happened, and it's hard. It is hard. Any of you who've had a small business or work for small businesses, the idea of taking a whole week off is not easy. And it's not something. We're not taking a week off for recreation either. It's a week to work harder than ever, but without the income of any of there's no work harder than ever, but the benefit of that work is not income at the moment anyway. So it's a hard thing, but we'll get there. But Andrew will probably come up and join us here in a little bit, maybe. He may finish working on some of those polymer things that he's been working on. If he can finish them, I don't know. But we'll see. They're really cool. I like them a lot. He's been working hard on them. All right. So yeah. Let me see. Anybody else? All right. Oh, Norma says, Susan, they just come on over our way after they finish tormenting you. Yes. I'm glad I'm not in that area where that stuff comes through that often, but we do get warnings and you know, even the tornado warnings sometimes around here, but not as often, thankfully, as you all do. And we're lucky here to have some more of the kind of mountains that break that stuff up. But we do get them once in a while, which is scary, and I can't imagine seeing that often. It's hard. It's hard. We've all got things, right? We've got things that make things a little harder, but we've also got a lot of things that make things good, and you all are, you know, part for us of what makes all of this good. We're so thankful, and Andrew and I were talking about that, like, because, you know, we think about it's so weird. Like, I worry that, so we told you all we're going to do our reset week, and then we couldn't do it today, and we're like, but we're going to let people down by not doing it. And I get in my head about that stuff because, you know, we know how much you support us and how much you want us to do well, and I even get worried, like, we're going to let them down when we don't do our selling. But that's just one of those things, like, everything we do, you know, tries to keep you all out there in mind. You know, a lot of businesses, I think, make their moves based on, probably smartly sometimes, based on what they need to do and just what they need to do for themselves. But you all are always in every decision we make. If we make a decision for some reason, it's usually, hopefully, to make things better for the people who support us, for the end user, as they say, right? And so, you know, we consider what you all think a lot, and we're just so thankful to have you all. You are the main good that is in this life of Allegory Gallery. And I don't say that lightly, because, you know, without you, we would not be. And I speak not just to the people who watch this live, but the people who may rewatch, the people who are out there who support us, who don't watch the lives. But, you know, we have a core group of people that are really, you know, vehement promoters of what we do. And it's so heartwarming. And I still, you know, that imposter syndrome, it amazes me that people like what we do so much and enjoy what we do and appreciate what we do, that they want to support us like that. And you all do. And so we thank you sincerely for that. And when things get hard and when unexpected things come up, we always fall back on, but we have good people. We have people who truly want us to succeed. And, you know, that's the biggest thing. As far as that energy coming from you all, we get that from you, that you truly want us to do well. It's not you want us to do well so that we can, you know, necessarily provide you with more things, or, you know, but of course there's that in it too. But you just want us to do well. You are our friends, and you want to see us do well, and we want the same for you, obviously. And it's a great relationship, and we're so thankful for it. Anyway, I'm getting into things, and we should just be looking at beads, right? I don't know. What do y'all want to talk about? You like talking about that? I don't know. I feel like I get mushy sometimes. Let's see here. What's everybody saying? Marion says, not something I would take in my stride. Thankfully, they are rare here, the tornadoes. Yeah. So you'd be surprised how many people here ignore them. Oh, I'm not bothered by the storms. Oh boy. Sanders says, "Yep, you're overthinking it just like me. I get it." Yeah, it's not easy to not overthink it. And I think part of that is because we do see you all as an AGB fam. We do see you all as friends. And when you have that relationship, and I think that's why some people keep things very cold and impersonal sometimes with business, because sometimes it is easier to make business decisions like that. But if you're not taking into account the people who support you and how they will feel when you make those decisions, I think that's the mistake that a lot of people make. So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. But, I would rather be somebody who overthinks about all this than to feel like a cold and impersonal business. So I guess we're doing what's right for us, and hopefully we do what's right for all of you out there. Kimberly's in the concession stand again tonight. Again. I was just going to say, Norma says, Kimberly, I think it's become your second home. I was just about to say it's like your second home out there. Concession stand talk is making me hungry. Me too, Susan. I am. Andrew made us some really good egg sandwiches. We had eggs and tomatoes and lettuce and cheese and mayo and good stuff on those sandwiches for lunch today. I don't know what we're going to have for dinner, but I'm already a little bit hungry. And, I get hungry for those things like the concession stuff. Andrew rarely does. But I love, like, the nachos, those corn chips with that concession stand cheese. We don't eat hot dogs anymore, but hot dogs with, like, chili and cheese or sauerkraut. I used to make sauerkraut, chili, relish. I got, like, the works on my hot dog when I used to eat them. They do make vegetarian ones, and they're pretty good. We just don't, I don't know why we don't get them. I should just get those and make some. I don't know that Andrew likes them so much, but they'd be a good snack for me for sure. Let's see here. Whoops. Vegan hot dogs are good, says Suzanne. Yeah, they are. I do like them. I do like the hot dogs. I just don't know why I don't. When I was younger, we would buy packs of hot dogs, freeze them, and then sometimes eat them frozen. But just cook them up real quick, put them in the microwave, cook them up, done. And sauerkraut is easy. Relish, ketchup, that'd be pretty easy. Meat sauce ones would be a little harder. You'd have to do a little bit more work, but that's still not terrible. Norma said, I just finished an Amy's enchilada dinner. Ooh, I do like those too. Donna says, stop. I love concession stand food. I worked all the home games when my kids were in band. Me too, especially. One of my favorites that I really miss is concession stand chicken strips with some honey mustard. Yes, I do miss that. They still have them. I can't eat them. I can make my own though. They do have that. Kimberly says that's what we have. Hot dogs, chili, nachos, candy, and movie theater popcorn. Nice. Marianne says, now I want a smoky, but no to sauerkraut. Oh, I do love the sauerkraut. I love it so much. But I also love chili on them, relish on them. Just pile it on. Mustard, ketchup, chili, relish, and sauerkraut. Sandra says, okay, stop with the food talk. You're killing me. I know. I'm teasing everyone, right? And of course, the numbers are crashing, so we probably are. People are like, oh, got to go get food now. I'm doing it to myself. Donna says, well, we are a small town, so hot dogs with that. So it's hot dogs with that concoction. I don't know what the rest of that is. But, yeah. Mustard and onions, says Marianne. Mustard and onions on a hot dog. Mustard's fine. Onions, I guess. Yeah, we sometimes put onions on ours, I guess. I don't usually do that. Sometimes onions can give me heartburn these days, so I'm very particular, because you never know how strong the onions are going to be. And just mustard and onions, that's not my bag. Definitely not. I need more. I need more. But I do love mustard. That has to go on them. Let's see. Kimberly says, I will say, having a hot dog for dinner every night is getting old. I bet. Susan says, Norma, those enchilada dinners are awesome. Yeah, they are, right? Oh, eating, not eating. Eating a hot dog. That makes sense. Yeah. Your phone knows you do a lot of jewelry already, right? Susan says, I like coleslaw on my hot. Oh, yes. Me too. Add that in, too. So yes, coleslaw, sauerkraut, chili, ketchup, mustard, relish. I could do it all. All of it would be fine. Go overboard. It's okay. I do like coleslaw on my hot dogs. I like coleslaw on my hamburgers. I just love coleslaw. That autocorrect is a killer. Susie says, I love a Sheetz hot dog. I used to get those sometimes, but now they don't have vegetarian. For a while, our Sheetz did Beyond Burgers. They did veggie burgers, and that was so nice because I could actually get a burger there. Because we used to have them sometimes there, but now they don't. They got rid of them. I don't know why. Maybe they weren't they weren't bought that much, but it's a shame. Let's see here. Norma says, my dad used to slit the hot dogs, put cheddar in them, wrap with bacon, and throw them on the grill. Wow. I do remember as a kid, I don't know if they still make these, they used to sell the hot dogs with cheese like implanted in them. I used to love those as a kid. We didn't buy them that often because they were more expensive. But when we did have them, they were like a treat. They had like the cheddar cheese or the American cheese. I don't know, but they were in the hot dog, which was kind of cool as kids. Let's see here. Donna says, we only had hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos, huge dill pickles. Stuff we made for the hot dogs had kraut, ketchup, mustard, all mixed together. I love slaw dogs, right? Marianne's not a ketchup person. I do love me some ketchup. I do. Although I feel like as I get older, I'm sure probably the recipes didn't change for the Heinz ketchup, but I feel like it tastes different nowadays than I remember it tasting. But I think as we get older, we go through cycles too, and I think sometimes our tastes change, or we taste different things. I think that's a thing. I feel like it is. Susan says, I only like a little cheese on my hot dogs. Yes, I'm weird. Oh, I forgot the cheese. Yeah, you can put the chili, the nacho cheese on the hot dogs. I do like that too. Donna says, I'm not a ketchup fan anymore. Why not, Donna? What happened? Did you change too? I feel like that happened to me. I used to, at one point I went through a phase where I didn't use ketchup at all. I didn't use hardly any condiments at all. That was a weird phase for me as a kid. I was like, I want to taste the real food. I don't want to cover it with anything else. I want to taste the food. And I went through a phase for years where I barely used condiments at all. And then I got back into it. And here recently, ketchup has been tasting a little different to me. And I don't know why. It's not the same as I remember it. But our memories are not able to be trusted all the time either. Right? This is my taste changed, plus I'm not a mustard fan at all. I like I like a brown mustard more than a yellow mustard usually, but usually for hot dogs, I use the yellow mustard. But I do like a brown mustard usually better. And our friends used to know people who owned a mustard company, and they made all kinds of mustard. They sold their company. I don't know if it's still going, and I'm trying to remember the name of it now. Um, Once they sold it, we didn't know the new owners. We kind of backed off a little, which why, but we did. Um, but they made all kinds of mustard, and they were so good. They were so good. Let's see here. Norma says, the Heinz ketchup still tastes the same to me. I'm still a Heinz only girl. That's good to know, because I wasn't sure if it was me or if they changed the recipe at some point. But yeah, I believe it was just me, and that kind of confirms it. Susan says, I've been like that with condiments all my life, William. Yeah, I don't know what made me go through that, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I did appreciate, because I think as a kid, we just grew up, like, you just slapped condiments on stuff, right? And you just knew what the food tasted like with the condiments, but you never actually tasted the food without it. So like steak, if we would have a steak dinner, which was rare, but if we did, I'd slap like A1 on it, or there's another one too that I like, which I can't remember now. But you just pour the steak sauce on, and then you don't even actually know what the steak tastes like, right? It could be anything. And so I went through a phase where I'm like, nope, I'm going to taste the real food. And to a point, I'm still a little bit like that. I still go light on most condiments. I do go light on most things. But I have come to the conclusion that some things are great when they're paired with other things. And so now if we go out for dinner and I don't have a nice steak anymore, but before we went vegetarian, it got to the point where even though I was back into condiments, if we're going out for a nice steak, I'm going to just, the chef should make the steak taste good on its own. If it doesn't taste good on its own and you need steak sauce, it's one of those things that I think certain foods should taste good on their own. But if you're going for a hot dog, most people do not eat a hot dog plain, and it's not meant to be eaten necessarily plain, right? Even the hot dog people are like, you pair it with this, pair it with that. It's one of those things. Anyway, Kimberly says, I like the chili with no beans, so that's what I have in my stand. And we use the spicy nacho cheese. So chili, comments jumped. So chili cheese dog is what I have eaten almost every night. Yeah, I love a chili cheese dog. I do. I have to admit, I definitely do. Let me see over here. Yeah. Let me see something here real quick. Do this. Do this. Sorry, there we go. I was trying to get on Instagram, but when I go on Instagram, it tells me that I can't. It puts up a little warning that I can't send comments out when we type them on here, which we never do. But it takes up more of the screen, and I'm like this. So I had to take Instagram out because it's still not syncing to Instagram right. And that gives me more space to read your comments. Kimberly says, I'm not a ketchup fan, but will eat spicy or Dijon mustard once in a while. Susan says, I came out of the womb that way. Yeah, I think it's good to want to taste the food, right? You don't need necessarily condiments smothering things, but I also have an appreciation for, after going through that and then coming back to deciding to use condiments here and there, like it was this big decision, but anyway, you know what I mean. I do appreciate pairing now. Like some things I think pair well with others, and they do enhance the flavor of things. But I'm still pretty light on them most of the time. And this is, I also don't like barbecue sauce. I'm not a huge barbecue sauce fan either. A honey mustard, I do love a good honey mustard. I will say that. Barbecue sauces, because we don't eat meat as much anymore, they're not as important to us. But yeah, we don't need a lot of that either. Heinz 57, says Donna. A1 is one of the few condiments I can tolerate, says Susan. Yeah, A1 is pretty good, I have to say. I think Lee and Perkins is the other steak sauce that I like. It's been so long since I've had a steak now, I can't remember. But A1 was pretty good, and Lee and Perkins, I think, is the other one that I used to like. Norma says, some people are just not the condiment people. I'm the opposite. The more condiments, the better. Yeah, see? Good thing we have them for people who like them, and you're not forced to have them for people who don't, right? Meat definitely should be good without condiments, but a smoke or a hot dog needs mustard. Yeah, I agree. I think certain meats should be fine, depending on what you're buying, right? If I go to McDonald's, I'm not expecting the meat patty to necessarily be fine on its own, right? But if I'm going into a nice restaurant to have dinner with somebody, or have dinner as a group of people or whatever, or just, whatever, and I'm ordering a steak, I don't think you should have to smother the steak for it to taste good. I think it should come out of the kitchen tasting good. And if you want to add extra things to it after that, that's fine. That's your choice. But I think it should taste good coming out no matter what. And then it's your decision whether you want to add to it and complement it or not. Pamela says, hi everyone, I'm just tuning in. Hello, Pam. I read your message earlier today. I don't know I can't remember if it was public or private, so I don't want to shout it out, but I hope everybody's okay. Honey garlic sauce on the ribs or chicken wings, says Marianne. Ooh, honey garlic, that's a good one too. Norma says, I don't like barbecue sauce either, or barbecue potato chips, or barbecue restaurants. We did used to love barbecue. I guess I should say, Andrew loves a good barbecue. When we were eating meat, we would definitely look for barbecue places. So I guess barbecue sauce, if it's done with the barbecue, and things, you can determine a good barbecue by the sauce they use, right? That's part of it. But I've never been a person to buy barbecue sauce and put it on things. I guess when we were young, sometimes we would grill out. We had a grill at home. And sometimes we would grill out, usually because I think it was too hot in the house to cook. We didn't have air conditioning growing up, and we just had a small house, so it got hot real fast. And so we would grill outside, and we would put barbecue sauce sometimes on chicken and stuff on the grill. I remember that. So I guess I don't mind it, but I just don't choose. I don't eat a lot that it would go on right now. Like, I'm not going to put it on my burger. Would I? Maybe. Maybe I should. We'll see. Suzanne says, I'm baking a potato this weekend. Baked potatoes. Oh, Pam says, I copied the post and didn't credit the author. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that's not good, but I'm glad it wasn't you. Because I was like, that's terrible. Donna says, I love good honey mustard too. I do love barbecue too. I do like barbecue potato chips, but only sometimes. And usually I like the sweet barbecue potato chips. The honey barbecue, that's the one I like. The honey barbecue chips. Those are good. Oh, there's Andrew trying to make it in the door with his big tray of new things.
They're not ready.
They're not ready.
How is it?
Good, we're just talking about barbecue. I know, we got into barbecue, we got into food, concession stand food first, because Kimberly's at the concession stand again. And then we started talking about condiments and all that stuff. Yeah, so, but we've got 19 or 20 people floating around. It's going up and down. Went down to 14, but up to 19, up to 20. So we appreciate you all hanging out with us. I've grabbed a bag of things, and maybe Andrew will add to it or subtract from it. We'll see. But we're going to take a look at some stuff. Are you all ready? I'm ready. How about you? Hopefully you're ready. Let's flip this camera around and get this show started. It's been nice chatting, though. Didn't think we were going to do this today. Let's see here. Settings, camera, flip camera. There we go. Okay. Are you warm? Are you...
It was hot downstairs, so I'm warm.
Okay, I won't shut this off yet then. I was like, I'm getting a little chilly up in here. How nice, right? I'm like, ooh, it's chilly. Andrew's down in the hot heat.
It's supposed to storm.
I know.
I have a little bit of a headache, and it's.
So I was hoping our internet stays because there's like major storm warnings coming.
It's getting very humid.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't know. I've been in here. In my nice.
For me, I talked to a seniors group this morning.
I was telling them you had a presentation this morning.
Yeah, and they're creating some pieces based kind of loosely off of my self-portrait series.
Wait, say that again?
So they have a thing, it's called Inspired by Art.
Okay.
And they meet, I think, once a month, or maybe more often, I don't know. And they pick an artist and then kind of make something inspired by that artist.
Oh, that's cool.
And somebody I met in one of the workshops had recommended me and kind of set me up. And I think it's really cool because normally when people do groups like that, they focus on like really established artists or people who are like the masters, quote unquote, and they're already kind of dead. And so this is a nice way for people to interact with people who are living and working and making now. And I'm excited to see what they make.
Yeah, that's really cool. So are they making things based on their own portraits or? That's cool. I didn't know it was like a make along, almost like they're gonna make something after it.
Yeah, but I don't get to see. I wasn't a part of that part. I just did a presentation.
Yeah, but you'll see some results though, right?
I hope.
Hopefully. All right, y'all. This is their MW lots. MW. And if you'd like to purchase from this video, let me put the banner down here. To purchase from this video, take down the lot number, MW1, for example, put that in the subject line of an email, send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. That's all you need to do. It's first come, first serve. So this is how this works. We have these. They were $9. See, they even say $9. I'm doing them for $8. We're going to do them for $8 tonight. And we have 3 of them available at that price. I will generally show you all 3 of them. Sometimes we just show you one. But this will always tell you how many are available. We sell by the strand. So these are these beautiful green Czech glass, green and gold Czech glass tile beads. And these are about 12.5 millimeters by about 10.5. Hello, Anna. Thank you for joining us. Anna says, hi, friends. I did not plan on seeing you today. Glad to see you. We're glad to see everybody, too.
We're planning to still do lives.
Yeah, so I was telling you, we'll probably still do lives during the reset. They just won't be selling lives, and they probably won't take 5 hours every night. So we still want to hang out with you all, but it's going to be a different vibe. Marianne is going to switch to TV only. Phone needs charging. Okay, Marianne, thank you. Here comes some more rain, says Donna. Oh boy. Susan is here. Just hi everyone, a surprise to see you. I know we weren't going to tune in today, but we're here.
Hey, we were still going to tune in.
We were still going to tune in, but we weren't going to sell things.
I hope people understand that's what we're doing, because it would really suck if we tune in and like plan projects and stuff and then nobody watches.
Yeah, we're still planning to go. I guess we maybe didn't make that clear.
The reset is we're not selling stuff.
Yeah, the reset is we're shut, and I talked about this a little earlier today. The reset is to shut down so that we are not having more orders come in while I'm trying to get as many orders out. And so that we actually hopefully can get to a ground zero on that, and start fresh. And if I do that early, we can start orders back up earlier. But it's really to get that reset done. It's also, like I said, the selling parts of these programs that we do keep me here another hour and a half to 2 hours, usually after the live ends, which is time that I could be doing some of that other work too. So, yeah, some of the computer work, some of the online work. So it's just to take that time and use it more, I don't know, use it better for right now.
So we can have a reset.
Yeah, so we can have a reset. And we're resetting the website. We're hopefully resetting the shipping, and hopefully resetting Star Cottage Studio.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to have your dad do, because we have to kind of evaluate how much money we have to spend and what we can do kind of with what we have.
Yeah, I figure even if just help move stuff around. But we need to let him know too, because he's available as early as tomorrow. If we want him to come, I'll have to pick him up and see what time too. So we'll talk about that. Anna says, you do what you need to do. Yeah, it's scary though. So we didn't quite meet our where we wanted to be to comfortably go into shutting completely down today. So we...
No, not with the cats.
Yeah.
We had to spend extra money on that, and that's something that we weren't really prepared to do.
So we are...
Well, I mean, it wasn't that we weren't prepared, because we put money aside for that. But it was in combination with the reset.
Yeah. So we are we're doing one more day. We extended the online sale and boosted a little bit up to 30% off. So that's gratitude is the discount code still. So it's kind of a one-day flash sale of that extended sale. And then we're doing one more live today of selling. But we still plan to do lives and hang out with you all, just in a different way. It may be demos. It may be just hanging out and chatting. We'll see what we get up to. But we still want people to hang out and do things.
The thing is that if we if the online store picks up, then we can do more demos.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier too. If the physical store picks up, we can do more things. If the online store picks up, we can do more things.
So that's the thing, is like somewhere we have to make the money, and a lot of times that's falling on our live sales.
Yeah.
And so usually we can't skip a day.
And now we're trying to skip 5 days.
Actually more. Of the weekend.
Yeah. Anna says, I've lived my life on the edge of financial disaster, so I understand the feeling of anxiety or fear. It's not easy.
It's one of those things where we're working really hard on becoming a little bit more proactive about things. Where it's scary to make these changes, especially when things are so uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately it will be better, because we'll have different systems in place that we can kind of, people won't have to wait so long for orders, and I think it'll be better for us and for one's mental health.
That's what I was telling them. Like, I feel like I'm letting people down, and it makes me anxious, and then makes things harder. And if we just get to a point where we don't really have major orders coming in at any moment, so if I get to a baseline of caught up, it should be easier to stay caught up.
The other thing is that we'll have a system developed that anybody can, in theory, pop in and help out. Right now, because William's pretty much doing it all, he's the one who's in charge of it, and if he can't do it, then it kind of gums up the work.
Yep.
So it'll be good to have, because when Barb retired, he jumped in and we didn't replace her.
That's what Sandra was saying. You need to find somebody to do shipping for you. And I said, I wish we could again.
But even that has its challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were lucky that we had her for as long as we did, and we booked for her and other folks who helped out. But the thing is that we just can't really afford it at the time.
That's what I've said. It's just not in the budget right now.
And it's not so much the salary that's the issue. It's just the way that we've kind of, I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of expenses, and until we kind of get caught up on those expenses, it's just kind of like we're going to be hustling to pay somebody, and on top of everything else.
Well, it shorts something somewhere else at the moment. And it's exactly making changes will be good. I think so. So MW2 is this little set of Halloween charms. Figure some of y'all might like those. That's $3 MW2 for the set of 4 of those. There's a little poison bottle, a little owl, and the Halloween and the Monster Bash. And then this is vintage plastic. These lovely large beads, super light, just about 21.7 millimeters. And you get the whole lot of those for $5. So MW1, MW2, MW3. And let's see here what we have in here. Let's see here, MW4. And these are 9, and I have to keep these at 9, I think.
And we've been working really hard to kind of future-proof the business, because we've heard so many stories recently about people closing their bead stores, and I'm not necessarily worried, but it is one of those things where
I've told people we've been talking, discussing whether we think we have to or not, but we're trying hard not to.
I mean, we'll be around in some way. It just depends on what that form takes.
So these are 11.7 by approximately 18.3, and these are these laser etched cat beads, Czech glass laser etched cats.
And I hope people know that I'm not trying to be like alarmist or anything. It's just, it's one of those things where
I don't think anything you're saying is alarmist, really.
Well, I think sometimes it comes across like I'm trying to like doom and gloom or something, that it's like, better buy stuff or else we're gonna close.
No.
But the thing is kind of true. It's like,
well, we are a business, and if people, we are a retail business. If people don't buy things, we do close. That's what a retail business is.
I mean, but a lot of our business has changed because of some of the moves that we've made to stay in business. So, for instance, like a lot of our programming has cut way back down because we're only open 3 days a week. But like if we boost programming, that means that something on the other end has to go away. We can't just keep adding and adding and adding.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. We've added a lot for 2 people to be able to handle already. We've sold MW2 and we've just sold MW4. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. That's these laser etch kitties.
So we've just been kind of. I think it's also we're trying to think about like what's sustainable too, because in theory, we could work every single day and really like push ourselves really, really hard because we've done it.
Yep.
We used to be open 7 days a week.
Yeah, we did.
And
then come home and do the live after.
And then work some more. And then we were eating junk food because it would take too long to cook food. And then your heart almost exploded. So.
Yeah, my heart did have problems. This is MW5. This is a bone carved cross. We've got one of these left. This is 14.7 millimeters by 33. One of those hand carved bone cross. Yeah, and we're also trying to, I'm trying to get into doing more things on the creative side of things. And so I would like to try to find more time to do some of that. And we're just looking at ways that we can not only do what we need to do, but also do the things that we more want to do. And, be happy with what we're doing instead of, ending up making it feel like, well, work, but like grunt work.
Well, I think it's one of the things where we ended up like we could expend so much energy on different things that didn't necessarily make us happy or money.
Yeah.
But we felt like we had to do them. So I think really prioritizing a more healthy way of doing business.
Yep.
And I think once you have the different systems, and you can kind of plug and play and not have to work out a puzzle. Because sometimes when I go over to look at the shipping, it's like a puzzle. Like he's like, I got this, so that has to go here, and it has to go here, and then but this one can't go with this one, and this one, this one, this one.
Yes, it is a puzzle.
This and this one fits that.
It is a puzzle.
And I'm like, good luck.
He does. That's what he tells me. Okay, we were selling these each. I'm going to sell them as a group. That seems to be working well for us. I don't know if this fluoresces or not. No, these do not. But this is vintage Czech, and these are kind of these flattened tubes, and they have this beautiful green, I hope you can see this, patterning and color to them. Like, aren't they beautiful? And there's 19 of them here. We were selling them for, it would work out to be $8.55. So we'll just cut it down to $7. Andrew's peeking. He's like, that's too cheap. But, hey. It is the antique. These are actually antique. They're not vintage. Well, they are vintage, but they go past that. Yeah, they go into antique territory. So really what we had them on individually was low priced, but $7 for the whole lot if you're interested. I know we have some people out there working with some of our vintage Czech glass. We've seen some people sharing some posts recently about it, and I love seeing what y'all are doing. So MW5 has sold as well. Thank you so much. That's the little bone cross pendant. Oops. Flip this around so I can read it later.
I finished 2 books.
2 books.
I finished, it's called 2 Turtle Dogs. It's by Alex Monroe, who is a jewelry artist. I really like his work. And so it's kind of his memoir.
These are 7.5 by 20.5 millimeter, by the way.
That's pretty good. At first, I didn't know if I would like it, but the more I got into it, the better I got.
Oh.
And I finished the new Alice Hoffman book, but it's really short. It's just a story. It was on sale from Audible for 88 cents. So.
That's good. That's a good deal. You like her a lot. MW7 are these two little pendants. These are hand-carved bone.
And it made me want to eat cake.
Oh, it made you want to eat cake. Actually, these are cabs. They're not pendants, sorry. There are no holes. No holes drilled in these.
If you want a hole drill, I can do it, but you have to do it before the reset and indicate you need a hole.
If you need a hole drilled, Andrew's offering to drill a hole, but you need to let us know. These were 18 each. We're taking them down to 16 each. Two of them available, hand-carved bone. These two little turtles, mama and a baby, or papa and a baby. Look at the detail. Super cute faces. I love their faces. There's two of them available, $16 each, MW7. All right.
So, I've been really busy. I've been in, seems like a meeting every day. I have a meeting tomorrow.
Well, you have a meeting tomorrow, huh?
With my second Tuesday meeting of the month with my mentor, with Jen Wells.
Ah.
And then Idabel goes in to get her surgery on Wednesday.
That's what I said. She's in on Wednesday.
Gertie's doing pretty good.
Gertie's doing really well.
Except she is contorting herself so she can lick her stitches.
She's somehow, even with a cone, she's getting to them. All right, this is MW8, and this is a vintage pair of Czech glass buttons. We had them at $16 for the pair. We're taking them down to $14 for the pair. It's a really good deal. They're a glass back, full glass with a metal attachment.
You can use it as a closure.
Could use them as a closure if you wanted to on a necklace.
A bracelet.
Or a big bracelet closure.
With a wire or a beaded loop.
These are 32.6 millimeters. So in inches, what's that? About 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches. They're nice big buttons. Vintage Czech. They're a lovely kind of coppery purple color. Let me get the light up here so you can see them. And again, glass back, full glass, other than the metal loop on the back. Two of them available. Well, I'm sorry, one of them available. We're selling them as the pair. MW8 was $16. Now $14 for the pair. That is cheap. I know.
Because the small ones are $8 a button.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good deal for those buttons. Giving really good deals tonight. Trying to entice people. Trying to entice some people to buy. I can't believe these green ones have not sold. These green Czech glass. What? Why do people... Tell me why you don't want these.
Oh, no.
I'm actually really interested because I think they're really nice.
Do you want them in the other color?
We have them in the other color.
We have one screen and another.
Oh, it's the blue or something, don't we? Yeah, let's get the other color maybe. I just don't know why, because I think these are really nice. And I think it's a color of green you don't see very often in Czech glass.
You know what would that go well with is that mix that we have at the cottage. It's on the table.
Getting ready.
There's that green and gold kit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we never see that.
Kimberly says, just got through a massive rush between games.
Nice.
Well, here's what's out there so far, if you missed anything.
This one's more expensive.
And this one is more expensive. I even took the price down on that one. This is the other one. These are the blue.
I think the other one would make a great brace.
So let's go ahead and throw this one out here. MW9. And this was 10. We'll do the same thing. We'll take it down to 9.
Just make it 8.
Just make it 8 as well? All right. Andrew's really trying to... Now he's doing the low pricing.
Of course. It's like
Kimberly says, I missed it all. No clue at what's on the table. All right. So this is on the table. These are these vintage.
We just sold one.
Oh, we just sold one. Oh, good.
So 2
Thank
left.
you. 2 left. MW1, $8 each. Don't sleep on it, because I think they're a really nice, pretty color. They go with so much.
I think you have to take it away, and then people are like,
And then they and then these are vintage plastic.
and that's the good plastic.
That's the good plastic. Only $5. Huh?
No, 2 sold.
No, 2 sold. 3 is not sold. That's not sold. MW6. These vintage, antique, antique Czech glass beads. You get the whole lot of these. Really pretty. This kind of green color. I love these. They're one of my favorites. And they're a flattened tube, flat-ish tube. They were $8.55 for the whole lot. They're $7 for the whole lot now. Then you have these. These are cabs, but if you want one of these drilled, Andrew said he'll drill them for you.
But don't wait, because
you gotta
don't wait until I'm busy and then be like, oh, can you drill that?
No, tell us right away when you buy it that you want it
So
drilled.
I can drill it tomorrow.
Right?
If I had the drill here, I'd just do it here.
I know they would sell probably better drilled. MW7, but for those of you who like cabs or might want a wire wrap, that's a good deal. They're hand carved bone.
If you want to do the beaded, I know some of y'all do the bead embroidery. That would be great in like a Kinga style.
Oh yeah,
Imagine
big.
if Kinga did it.
I know.
It looked nice, huh?
This is vintage Czech glass buttons. Glass buttons. They're glass on the back, glass on the front, and they've got the metal loop. They are $14 for the pair. They're a beautiful kind of coppery purple color. 1 pair available. And then we just put this one down. This is like the first one, same design, but in the blue, in that kind of periwinkle blue.
Some of y'all got that periwinkle blue last week.
Right. So this is, it would go well with it. If you got those periwinkle blue beads before last week. MW9, that was 10. We just took it all the way down to 8 to match these ones. We've sold one of these asking for a drilling, please.
Make the mark on it with a Sharpie. No, have them decide. I'm not going.
Where do you want the mark?
You want it in between the heads?
You want it in between here? You want it to hang? Oh, we just sold the other one drilled. Okay, so for the 2 of you, not to out people, but the 2 of you who wanted these drilled, do you prefer to have them drilled like here for the turtles to hang down? Do you want the turtles to hang up?
Or side to side?
Or side to side.
But I'm going to do this now so that it's not 10 emails later. Because otherwise, then that makes it.
We just sold 9. Thank you so much. So that one is sold.
Makes it less desirable.
Let's see. We just sold another one of 1. Thank you so much. So there's just one of these greens left. This one is sold out. Let me put that back. Let us know if you want to say it in the comments where you want it drilled, or if you want to send us an email, let us know.
He's going to make a mark on it.
Suzanne says whatever Andrew decides.
Right.
So that's up to Andrew. We have one more person who got one of these. Let us know how you want it drilled. Andrew's choice.
It's going to be through. It's next to its head, I think.
Or if you want a particular way.
If it's Andrew's choice, that's what it's going to be.
If it's Andrew's choice, he says it's going to be between the heads. He thinks.
As long as it's thick enough there.
All of MW1 has just sold out. Thank you so much. See, I just had to point him out. Like, why don't y'all like green?
Oh, keep like, why you hate this stuff?
Why?
You start acting like my mom. How come you don't like my food?
You don't like my food. You don't like my beads.
She said that, and I was like, oh my gosh.
How come you don't like my beads?
Because I ate too much.
She's wondering why you don't like it. Suzanne says that's okay by me. Okay, we still have one person who got one of these, and we need to know how you want it drilled. Make sure you tell us. Other person said between the heads. So
all right. Two heads.
Two heads. Awesome. All right, so those are sold out. Thank you so much.
Put that aside.
Those turtles on a lily pad are so adorable, says Dominion, right?
I gotta go to that cottage tonight because I need the car.
We just sold MW6. Thank you so much.
I planned the reset, and somehow that's the week that this old meeting was that week.
I know, you picked the dates.
I know, but somehow that's the week that they're like, oh, we have to have an emergency meeting.
I know.
So we can have this meeting next week.
This emergency next week. Let's see. So we sold MW6. Thank you so much. So the things that are left here are MW3 and MW8. These two. Still, nobody wants these. What?
Those are so cool.
They're vintage Czech glass buttons. Use them as a closure in your necklace. Use them as the focal. Use them as a...
The person I got this from, she said that the person who makes those, he is super elderly style, and his kids do not want to make buttons.
They don't want to make the buttons.
They've been helping since they little, and they move far away, and they're like, F this, I don't want to do this.
Oh,
and
boy.
They can't find somebody to train. And so he said that when he dies, that's it. No more. No mas.
No mas. Now these are some big old beads. What did we...
I had people beg me for these beads, and I was like, no.
We have...
No.
Let's see. These are from the Philippines. Where are my scissors? I need to cut them. There they are.
I told them no.
No. And now yes. But no. Nobody wants them.
I like them.
I like them too. Somebody used some of these for Pride Month, and they used them, and they were really great. Oh no, that's not. That needs a...
Let me do it.
Here, you better do something with that.
Give me the pliers.
You'll need to put a bead on the top of that or something.
No.
No. One moment, everybody.
This end of the strand broke.
Yeah. I love those Czech glasses, Donna. Or use the buttons in one of Harry Wood's Vera... I don't know what that means.
What is it?
Just use the buttons in one of Harry Wood's VE... Something didn't come out right. It says, I love the Czech glass. So sad to see the bead crafting going by the wayside, says Anna.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense. It's hard work and they don't get paid a lot, so...
Yeah.
And they have more choices now.
right?
That's like if somebody's like, "Oh, do you want to cut?"
Oh.
I'm so sad the lawn care business is gone. And I'm like, I'm not.
Mow your own lawn.
And barely more on.
I know. I did that today too. Somebody just bought MW8 the buttons. Thank you so much. You got a good deal on those. Donna says, "Sorry, my typing is off tonight." That's okay.
What was it? What was it supposed to say?
Sandra says, "I can't wrap how you would use the buttons as a closure."
You make a beaded.
You make a beaded loop. So pretend you have a strand of beads like this, and you make a beaded loop, and then you attach this to one side, you attach the rest of your necklace to that side or bracelet, and you go in and you make a beaded loop like that. So you make it just the right size where that button will come up through.
You have to get that just right. If it's too big and it's too loose, it fly off.
So you'll have one strand coming off the button and one
too tight, it won't work.
Right.
So it's like Goldilocks.
Now, if it's a necklace, it doesn't matter as much because you can. The weight will hold it, so you can just have it bigger.
Gravity.
Yeah, and then it would go like that. So you can use any button that we sell like that as a closure.
So this is interesting. Maybe I get a piece of tape.
That's what I was wondering, because
I mean, it'll work, but
it'll hold
you
for
have
now.
to be delicate with your life.
Yeah,
Life
force delicateness. These were
we're 14. I can do it for 12. So
12.
that's $3 a bead.
We have no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Less than $3 a bead.
There's 5. I thought there was 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tim says, "Good demo, William. Thanks."
I did a whole tutorial at one point. It had blue beads on it.
I have my check glass buttons in one of Harry's ceramic bowls. Oh, you just hold them in the bowl, right? Yeah, just decoration. Easter eggs, says Anna. Yes, people have used these for Easter eggs. People have used these for pride stuff because they've got the rainbows.
I would say you could use it for like a mobile or like a sun catcher, but don't put this in the sun.
Don't put it in the sun.
It's a natural resin, and it will fade color
over time. If you're wearing them as jewelry, it's not so much, but
not unless you bake yourself
in the sun too long.
Uh-huh.
MW10, we've sold one of these so far. Thank you so much. We've got one left. People begged Andrew to let these go, and he finally did.
I'm surprised a certain somebody who has a penchant for bright, colorful, large vintage beads hasn't. I don't know if she's watching.
I don't know if
tonight,
that person is watching tonight. I don't think I've seen their name pop up yet.
But there is somebody that we all know who loves big beads that are like this.
That are colorful.
And I have not yet seen anything come in from them.
And somebody just posted in, I think, the Design Challenges group about making pride jewelry the last few years, and they used, I believe, one of these.
Terry?
Huh?
Is it Terry?
Was it Terry? I can't remember who. It might have been Terry. I can't remember who it was.
But he posted a bunch of pride jewelry.
Yeah, that's probably it then. Suzanne says, "I know you don't mean me." Kimberly says, "Julie, where are you?" Not to call anyone out, but
you don't know each other. It's like
know,
we're
right?
Strangers.
I know. Hey, you want to take these apart for me?
No.
Or just show them like that?
Here, give this for free one.
For free one?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do a little bit of a price on it.
Okay, 50 cents. $1.
That's about what I was going to do. But we can do a free one if you want to do a free one.
You can do 50 cents.
Huh?
50 cents.
50 cents each?
No.
MW11. I'm going to make this $1 for all of them. They're just fun.
I think they're cute.
I mean, if we would cut these, they'd be more than that.
Correct.
So That's why I was like, all right.
Make sure not to put this upside down.
Not to put it upside down?
Mm-hmm.
What's that look like?
Isn't that meant for swingers?
Oh,
I
that's...
mean, unless you're into that, then do whatever you want, but...
You get a set of 4 of these wooden pineapples. These wooden pineapple cutouts.
Painted.
They're painted yellow.
But you could paint on top of it if you wanted.
Yes, you could.
You know what? That would be really cute. Is for like if they like placements. If you write somebody's name down.
Mm-hmm. Sandra says, looks like we're supposed to get a lot of rain tonight. Yeah, we're supposed to have storms too. So
I feel that.
Yeah.
Is the windows closed?
I don't know.
Let me go before the
check.
time.
So these are a set of 4. These are approximately 21 millimeters by 49.5 millimeters. Wooden cut pineapples, super light, be very fun in earrings. Only $1 for all 4 of them. That's a little bonus tonight. And this is cute. Need more fruit, right? Add to the fruit. Add to the fruit. These are Czech glass, vintage Czech glass beads. MW12. They were $5.50. I'm gonna bring them down to $5. Can't go lower than that. MW11 just sold. Thank you so much. These are vintage Czech, large Czech glass beads. So one of these is about 19.7 millimeters. This one is about 16, and these 2 are 13.8. They're a beautiful pink with like a silvery finish. Vintage Czech glass. 1 lot available. $5. MW12 for the 4 beads. Put these away. These have sold. We've still got 1 of the MW10s, and we've still got the MW3s. Y'all don't like those vintage plastic? I thought they were super cool. And those are, I don't know if I gave you, those are about 21.7 by 12.7 millimeters. Right. Let's see what's next. What do we got here? Got 3 of these available. MW13. 3 of these available. Oops. Oh, one moment. These want to come apart too. Let's see how bad they're going to be. Oh, they're actually knotted. So I can free them. All right. And this is, I do like them, but a bit large for me. Need the right design idea. Let's turn that air off for a little bit. It's getting a little bit chilly in here for me. All right. How about these? These are a vintage Czech crackle glass. And these are rounds at 12 millimeters. I have 3 strands of them available. They were 18, bringing them down to 16. And these are vintage. And just so you know, the tags on these, they cost more than $16 back then. And these are vintage already. So I'm giving you a really good deal on these. If you like this crackle, isn't it so pretty? So they heat the glass and then they cool it to shatter it. They cool it quickly and it shatters, and then they warm it up and temper it so that it doesn't continue to crack. And so this is a crackle glass strand. This strand is 12, about 15.5 inches, and it's MW13. MW13. I think these would be fun together to play with, right? That's what made me think about when I was pulling these big ones, and then I saw these, I'm like, ooh, that could be fun to play with, right? Pam says, ooh, the crackle is so pretty, right? It's super cool. And they're smooth on the outside, so you don't have to worry, like, they are not crackly or pinchy or anything on the outside. The crackle is fully contained on the inside of the bead. Okay, now MW14. We have these ceramic beads that look like the Z beads. There's 4 of them here, and we're doing them for $2 for all 4. $2 for all 4. These are ceramic beads. They are 13.5 millimeters by about 37. And you get all 4 of them for just $2 for the set. And I think these are super cool. They go with bone and wood really well, or horn. Of course, I know a lot of you have some of those vintage white and black. We just had some vintage Japanese white beads the other day. They would go really well with these. I think doing an all white and black, maybe throw some red in there or some green in there. You know, pop it with one color. But I think that could be really cool too. MW14. All right. How are y'all doing out there? Pam says they're cool too. I think so. I love these. I love these. Made to look like the Z beads. All right, let's see. Let's put something away. We got to put some stuff away. I'm filling up here. Let's put these away. Nobody wants MW3 for MW3. All right. You've been out for a while. You've been given your chance. MW3 goes away. MW10. We have sold 1 of the MW10. We still have 1 left. If you're interested, 1 strand of these big beads. I don't think I gave you the size on these, did I? These are nice and big. They're 25, about 25.5 by 35. And they're beautiful big beads from the Philippines. MW10. Oh, we just sold MW14. Thank you so much. Whoa, what did I just do? MW14, let's move 12 over here. These are those big vintage Czech beads. And MW13 are the crackle glass beads, which these would actually go really well together if you wanted to play with those. Look how well those would go together. Bring out those pinks a little more if you wanted to. And MW14 has just sold, so let me put those away. Thank you so much. Let's see if I can get them in their little bag. They're in a little bag. Put back in there. That was easy. Not too easy. MW15 coming up. All right, these are these foil beads, and we had these at $4 each, so they were $12. Let's bring them down to 10 for the set of 3. Look at how pretty these are. They're a lampwork foil bead. They've got that gold center, and they are approximately 15 millimeters. Yeah, 15 by 15 by 6.5. $10 for the set of 3 of those lampwork foil beads. Hello, Dale says, just tuning in. Thank you for joining us today, Dale. We appreciate it. Glad you can be here. MW16. These are $2 each, and we have 3 of them. And I believe it was Kimberly just talked about these. Are these Celtic knot Peruvian ceramic that she just turned into earrings. They are nice and light, super light, so definitely able to be used for earrings. If you like those, there are 3 of them left. They are Peruvian ceramic MW16. Great as a pendant, nice as earrings. They are decorated on both sides. Peruvian ceramic. MW16. MW17. We just sold 1 of 16. Thank you so much. We've got 2 left. There are a total of 3 available. MW17. These were $10. These are a cool vintage plastic bead. Let me see if I can get the light up here better. They've got these black rings. There's a black core and then a black ring that goes around the outside. And so they're this really cool, trippy kind of bead. Super cool vintage plastic. And these are 14.5 millimeters by about 10.5. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. So they were $1 each. They are now $8. Kimberly says, "Hey, I am wearing my pair of earrings I made with MW16. Nice. Yeah, you had just posted about it, and I just saw these today, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show those. They're super lightweight and very nice," says Kimberly. They are. So we've got one pair of them left. They're $2 each, so it'd be $4 for a pair if you're interested. Make another pair like Kimberly did. We just sold MW17. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Did you look at it from the side?
I did. I showed them.
It makes a little cross.
Yep, they make a little cross.
I tried to get the air conditioner in there so it doesn't get so hot.
And where?
Upstairs, by the cat litter.
Oh, yeah.
And I was fighting for my life, and the windows started coming out, and then I got that thing, and then the screen started to pop up.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, my.
So I'm just gonna let you do it.
Are we secured down there at least?
I closed it. I didn't leave it just open for them.
I know. I was like, what's happening?
I have a free-for-all.
MW18 coming up. Where are you going now? Here, could you refill mine, please? Thank you. Listen to that. We just sold the other two MW16, so those have sold out. Thank you so much. One of the other changes we're going to make in our online store that we've been talking about too is that a lot of the things like the wooden pendants and the pins, the art pins, they're all going to mostly go away, except for we'll pick a few every month or so and have them pre-produced. So if there's something in there that you want to get right now, like any of our wooden pendants, or any of our art pins, to make sure you can get them now instead of getting them maybe in only 6 months from now or 8 months from now, the design you want. Now would be a great time. You can save 30% off on our online store using discount code gratitude. We're doing a 1-day extra flash sale with an extra 5% off, so 30% off right now if you want anything from the online store. That'll also be something I have to do during the online renovation. The online store renovation is go through all the listings and take off all the made to order things, because we won't be doing anything made to order anymore. We'll be making them, putting in a certain amount, and when they sell out, we'll decide if we make more or if they're just stay sold out until the next round. So speaking of lightweight things, if you wanted any of our wooden pendants, like I said, to make earrings out of or anything like that, I encourage you to grab them now, because we will only be making a few of each design every few months or so. We think it's going to make it easier. Well, definitely make it easier for shipping. Orders won't have to be held up for me to make individual things. These are vintage Czech large beads again. Large vintage Czech. These are $6 for the 3 large ones. We had the other ones over here. There were 4 of them for $5, but that's because some of them are smaller. But these are larger, more rare. You don't see large Czech glass much these days, so those are a little bit more. $6 for the 3. Oh, and I didn't give you the size on these, did I? These are approximately 19 by 19 and a half. Yeah. Check this one. This one looks a little bigger. This is 20 and a half by 21. It's a little bit bigger. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, so hard. All right. We had these the one day, And somebody asked us if we had more, and we said, I don't think so. Then I found more. So if you've been waiting for these Millefiori, but not made in Italy.
Remember the candy.
Huh?
The candy.
The candy beads. Oh, we just sold 18. Thank you so much. Let me take that off of here. Take 18 away. So we have room.
Alright, I'm not running anymore.
You're not running anymore? That's it? He's parked. He's done.
I need to cool down.
Let's see. These are 18. I can't do better than that, I don't think.
You can do 14.
What? 14? Oh my goodness. $14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So about 24 beads for $14
They like me. They really, really like me.
in these candy-like Millefiori beads. And they are, I don't know if they're all exactly the same. I think they're all cut a little different. But just to give you an idea, about 13 millimeters by 16. And there's one lot left. I know somebody wanted them before, and I thought we had sold out, so we've got one left. If that was you, this is the time to grab these.
Whose hair is this, do you think?
I can't even see it.
Is that yours?
It could be mine.
Is your hair that long?
Yeah, some of my hair is very long. Very long. I gotta get a haircut hopefully this reset week too.
I'm about to make it fun.
I know.
I could do it.
I told him go ahead, and then he got nervous.
No, we have to do it live.
We have to do it live. He wants
I
to
was
cut my
talking
hair
about
live.
the texture and how we could really embrace the unconventional.
Embrace the unconventional. What does that even mean exactly? You'll see when we do my haircut live on air. Andrew's second time cutting hair. Didn't you cut hair one other time?
My mom's hair.
Didn't it kind of go not so well?
It was kept getting crooked, and she kept saying stuff, and she kept making me laugh, and so it kept getting more crooked.
What can we do on these?
I can do them for 5 each.
5 each.
Those are from Venice.
Venice. These are Venetian. So let's do them
Basically free.
$10 for the pair.
And it should be $10 each.
They are Venetian glass. Suzanne's getting a haircut tomorrow. Nice. I know. Oh, we tried to sell 17 again. Sorry, it's sold out. 15 though just sold. These little triplets. 15 is sold. Thank you so much. Let's see here. So these are Venetian glass, and they're kind of these flat curved, I don't know what shape you call that. Flat curves. They're super nice, super bright red. So, like with these, like this is the kind of thing with like these black and white beads would be super cool with those. They're kind of this almost the same length, but a different shape. It could be cool with something like that. These are overall approximately, this one anyway, is 42.2 by, let's say about 15.5. Venetian glass, MW20.
They call that
$10 for the pair. What's that?
I think those are the elbow.
Called elbow? I want elbow. Norma says MW20 are really unusual. Yeah, they are.
So fiery.
They are like they are not coming across, I don't think, on camera as deep red. They're like a cherry red.
Like the embers of fire.
Yeah, they are really nice. That would go good with your fire pendant. I bet that would look really nice with
On
that.
both sides.
Yeah, like coming up out of the fire pendant.
Like little devil head horns.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's what you want.
That might not be the devil head horns that you may not be going for that look, but these would go really well with
green, and then you're ready for Christmas.
Yeah, you could put it with green and be totally ready for Christmas. We just sold MW20. Thank you so much. Here's a littler bag. Take those away. Oh, somebody tried to buy it again. Sorry, it is sold now. Gotta act quick sometimes. Sometimes things sit around like these ugly purple large Czech glass beads.
Didn't somebody ask for large Czech?
I know, that's why I brought some up, and I brought them, and nobody wants them. Throw them down.
No, don't hurt their feelings.
Norma says, yeah, had to claim them. Did I miss them? Norma, you got 20. You are the one who got it. Oh, now 2 other people missed out on it. Sorry. Norma, you got it. It'll go nicely with your pendant, I think.
Good job.
Good job. Is right. Let's see. How many of these do I have? How do I want to sell these? Probably in a batch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of these. Let's see. How many do I have total? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 2 left over. So I have 4 of these available. These batches of the dyed bone.
Those are nice.
Gonna do them for like $4 for 10. And there are 4 of them available.
I like those. They've got like a star pattern.
They are really nice. I have that second fire pendant to use, says Norma. I know. I was thinking of you. Sally says, hi everyone, did I get 17? Let me look. No, Sally, you did not. Somebody got it much earlier. Somebody got 17 much earlier. 17 was the those red and black cross kind of vintage plastic beads. I don't think so. I haven't seen it around. So these are dyed bone.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to know.
Oh, these are dyed bone. These are kind of these kind of flattened tube. It's kind of like flattened tube show tonight.
Those are great.
They are great.
Earrings, that'd be fun.
Yep. Lightweight, super quick to make.
Earthy, organic.
So you get 10 beads for $4. It's only 40 cents a bead. And they are hand carved and dyed bone. Or hand shaped. Anyway. 10 of them for $4. 21, yes, we sold 2 of them so far. Thank you so much. We've got 2 left. 2 lots of those left. If you're interested, grab them now. I think it's a really good price. Okie dokie. Let's see here. What's
stuff like this in my job.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so here's a review. MW12 has not sold.
Which one?
These are this big purple. Oh, we sold one more of these, so we have one left now. I don't know. These are
how much was
super pretty. $5. They were $5.50. I brought them down to $5. I don't think we can go lower than that.
Go ahead, do $4.
Up, Andrew's dropping it down to $4 for number 12. $4 for that ginormous check that nobody wants.
Don't say it like that. Maybe they do.
Sally asks, what is the Millefiori on the table? They are a Millefiori, but not made in Venice. They are probably Indian.
Chinese.
They're Chinese. Chinese.
From the late 90s.
Late 90s, Chinese Millefiori glass. Really pretty. You get all of them, a whole lot for $14. We also have this crackle glass, and these large rounds.
Nobody got that?
We have 3 of them, and nobody got any of them. I even dropped the price from 18 down to 16. I put them with those big eggs, and still nobody wanted them.
You like them big eggs?
We sold one of the big eggs. We still have one left.
Oh, huh.
I know.
Maybe because not spring, that's more springtime.
They are more springtime colors. Yeah, they are.
I mean, it could be any kind of color.
All right.
Oh boy, what are you doing there?
Well, I'm going to sell these by, I don't know, what do you think, 10? Why? This is good luck. Like, these should be hard to sell or something. These are beautiful. So these are hand-carved bone donuts. Each one is hand-carved. I'm going to do MW22. These... Oh. I'm going to do them for $10. $10, only $1 each. There's a lot of work that goes into hand carving these, hand shaping them, and then hand carving them. These bone donuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them per lot, $10, $1 each. They are 12.7 millimeters approximately by 5.2. Oh yes, sorry Sally, that number is a little bit wild, but that is 19. MW19 is the Millefiori, if you're trying to claim that. And then MW22, $10 for 10 of these. They make nice little earrings. You could add them, for example, to these. And make nice little bone earrings, or maybe on the bottom. Make earrings out of them. Use them as a design element, one on the top, one on the bottom. MW22. Let's see here. MW12 we just sold with that lower price. Thank you so much.
See, somebody did want them.
Somebody did want them. They just wanted a better price.
Well, sometimes we can do it,
sometimes we can't. Sometimes we can. When we can, we do. So MW12 has sold. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move these over. We've sold one of the MW22s. Thank you so much. That's the lot of 10 of those. Oh, I do have multiples of those available. Let me see how many I've got. Well, let's see. I've got at least 4 of these available. So one of them has sold. We still have a few available of those. We have one of the MW21s left available. Everything you're seeing here, we have at least one of left. We have the Millefiori beads, MW19, $14 for all of those. We have 3 of the crackle glass rounds, MW13. MW23 coming up. What is MW23 going to be? Now we're liking the bone. Let's see what we've got here. Pam says, does each item have to go on separate requests? Nope. You'll just have a better chance of getting them if you request them separately. Because if other people are requesting them separately and you're waiting till the end to request all at once, you may miss out. So that's all. Okay, I've got 10 of these. These are at $4 each. These are these hand-carved bone flags, we call them. And they're drilled through this way. They're hand-carved, hand-dyed bone flags. And they have this kind of curved look to them, which can be really cool, I think, on how you play around with that going through your strands. If you wanted to make kind of a bracelet out of them, something like that, it could be really cool. So this is MW23. They are sold individually. There are 10 of them available. All 10 are shown here. They're $4 each. I think it's a really nice deal because they're a unique shape, something you don't see everywhere at all. And they're all a little different because they're all hand done, but they're about 19 by 19.5 millimeters. So they're sold individually, and there are 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $4 each. 19 has just sold. Thank you so much. That's the Millefiori. All right, MW19 sold out. All right, one lot of the MW21s left. That's these hand-carved bone. You get 10 of them for $4. So you do get 10 of those for $4. These are the rondelles, the hand-carved discs or rondelles, like a disc. $10 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. And then MW23, these are $4 each. I'm going to put an each here so that's evident to everyone. $4 each, 10 of them available. Sally says, I sent an email for 19. Did you get the email? I did. It just popped up, so thank you so much. You got it. You got it. All right. MW24. What are these glass ones, Andrew? Do you remember where the Javanese? And I think we had 28 on these. I can drop them to 26. 26. Not a big discount, but a little bit discount. This is the whole strand.
I really like those.
Me too. This whole strand of Javanese glass. Multicolor. A little rainbow there for you. Graduated. You get the whole strand of Java glass. $26 for the strand. This is a oops, 20-inch strand. And the beads go from about 10.5 millimeters to the largest one is about 14 millimeters. And so fun. Got a little bit of that kind of almost, you got some blue, you got some greens, you got some brown kind of reddy color, rusty reddy colors in there, oranges. Really nice strand of Java glass. MW24, $26. One strand only. Don't know if we'll be seeing that again. Probably not. I don't think we have any more of it. Nope. I'm going to take away 13 since nobody wanted these. 4 13s. Let's move this up. All right. And move these down. We've still got one of these available. We've got about 3 of these available. We've got still all of these available. And we have the Java glass here available. One strand available. One moment, I'm going to take a drink. Okay. Ooh, these are cool. Let's see, this is MW25. We had these at 10. I'm going to bring them down to, let's bring them down to 7. I'm not going to quite go to 6. We'll go to 7. And it's for the whole lot of them. And they are these vintage, I think these are antique Czech. These ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are antique Czech. They're almost kind of like a bow tie or a kind of like a croissant. They're like wrapped around the middle, but smushed on the edge. Like, I don't know what you call that shape. But you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these for $7. They're kind of gray and red. That gray verges on being almost like a green gray and an orangey red. But that's a very unique shape for a Czech glass bead. You probably won't see those around very often for sure. They're about 10.7 millimeters by about 17. Just super cool, super funky shapes. And you get 12 of them for $7. It's like a strand of them for $7. That's a really good price. Normally we do about $10 a strand on those. Maybe a little bit more for antique. All right, bone tubes. We still got one pack left, one lot left. But I'm going to put those away to make room. And let's move these over, move these over. Nobody wants that Java glass yet? I'm surprised. I love it too. It's a very colorful strand. It's very fun. 25 just sold. Thank you so much. It's that vintage Czech. Or antique Czech, I mean. Antique Czech. Put those away. All right. What's up next? MW26. Two, three, four. Four strands of these. We had these at $18 a strand. I'm going to drop them down to $14 a strand for you all. These are Tiger Eye, kind of a rough cut and tumbled, simple cut Tiger Eye bead. Really nice quality beads. These are vintage. Beautiful beads. This strand is a 16-inch strand. This is MW26. I've got $14 only on them. And I think it's a really good deal for an excellent quality strand of the Tiger Eye. Isn't it pretty? And I love that simple cut. If you take these, and knot in between them, they look really nice. I love these kind of simple cut with done with knotting. These are about 8.3 millimeters. Anna says, can you tell me the size of the Java beads? Sure. The Java beads are graduated, and they graduate, I think it was, about 10.8. I think 14 is the largest. Let me see what the largest was. It was this one. It was about 14 millimeters. Yeah, 13.8, 14 millimeters. So they're graduated in size. This one, for example, is 12.7, 12, and then back up here to about 10.8, 10.9. And then the bigger ones down here around 13 and 14 or so. All right. MW26, beautiful Tiger Eye, simple cut beads, $14, 4 lots available. We've sold one of the 26s, and we've sold the 24. Thank you so much. Okay. We still have 3 of the 26s left, so I'm going to move this over. Look how nicely these all go together. These is kind of carbone with the Tiger Eye. It's just such a nice warm palette over here. I like it a lot. MW27 coming up. Got you some nice pearls, y'all. Some of you love the pearls. This was a $32 strand. I'm going to bring it down to $24. What? Crazy over here. Nice rustic looking palette, Susanna, right? I think so. Okay, so these pearls are nice. They were a 32-inch strand. These are vintage freshwater pearls. I want you to see how nice. Look at the colors. They're all pretty close in size and shape. A little off here and there, right? But that's to be expected on a strand like that, not priced in hundreds of dollars. Those are beautiful pearls, says Anna. Sandra, I'll get you the size of that in just a moment. Look at the color. One strand of these pearls available. We took it down from $32 to $24 only for the strand. I know. Basically free. And they are about 7.5 millimeter pearls. Some are 8. So 7.5 to 8.5 millimeter, depending on the size, depending on the side you grab them on. And is asking 9 millimeter. Not quite 9. Not quite 9, but they're a good 7 to 8. 7.5 to 8 millimeter pearl. And these are vintage. This is a vintage strand, so it should be 16 inches. And it is. It's a 16-inch strand. And 27, I'm talking about it, and it's already sold. So thank you so much.
Okay, I'm cool now.
Huh? You're cool now? All right, 27. I know. I turned it off a little while ago, and then I got really warm really quickly, too. It is warm out. Okay, now these, somebody wanted the size. I think Sandra was asking the size on these. They're a little bit graduated. I guess I didn't really notice that, but I guess they all are. Which is
so subtle.
It's very subtle. So this one, just to give you an idea, because they're all simple cut different, it's about 7 millimeters by 9.3. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to pick what probably is the largest, is about 9.5 by 9. All right. So that's MW26. Was 18, now 14. We've sold one of those, so we have 3 of them left. And like I said, these look really pretty because the simple cut, kind of, if you just put a knot or a seed bead in between them, I think it looks really good that way. And they do look good with the bone. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, MW28.
What if I release something tomorrow to sell?
What?
That's not really a reset, is it? But I'm not going to be able to finish these on
Maybe put them in the D-stash tonight?
I don't have time.
Oh.
I'll be at the pavement.
Oh. I don't know then. What are you going to do?
I don't know if I want to save it till after, though.
We can put them in. We can put them in tomorrow. Okay. These are
The last 2 raw.
Sibuka seeds.
Philippines.
Sibukao seeds. And these were...
This from where that's where that grows.
And let's see, these were 22. I'm going to bring them down to 18 for the strand.
And the language is Cebuhana.
Cebuhana?
I'm probably making that up.
We just sold 2 more of 26s, so thank you so much. We've got 1 strand of those left. Now these are a natural seed. Normally we see them in like a browner color, but these are like almost a red. These are super pretty. And they're nice and light.
Mm-hmm. Those are nice.
These are really, this is a really nice specimen of these. Really good color on them. Like I said, normally they're like a browner color. And these are kind of like that rusty reddy. Really pretty.
They polished the heck out of it.
They did. You get the whole strand now instead of $22, which I think is a really good deal anyway. $18. And they're a natural seed pod that's been drilled. And the holes they make on these are pretty big. I don't know if I can get in here to measure one. Let's see if I can or not. They do vary though, so I should say they're not all going to be the same size, but they're about 2.5 millimeter. So generally getting like 2 millimeter leather through there should be pretty easy for you. And there's one strand available. The beads themselves, this is a pretty big one on here. This is about 25.5 by 26 millimeters. Nice big beads, but very light, very good color. Those are really kind of exceptional. Susan asked, by the way, what is the difference between vintage and antique Czech glass? About 10 to 20 years, at least. That's pretty much the difference. Most of the glass that we call vintage right now probably is antique. A lot of our vintage glass comes from the 90s, and technically that's now, over 30 years old. Generally, people start calling things vintage after 20 years and antique after 30.
Well, most of my vintage Czech glass was vintage in 1989.
Yeah, it was already vintage then.
And that's the main collection that I have.
Yeah, so really most of the glass we call vintage is technically antique. It's just marked vintage for us, so we keep calling it vintage. But most of our vintage glass is antique at this point. It's definitely over 30 years old, because it was vintage when it was in the 80s or the 90s. All right, and let's see here. MW 29. No takers on 28. Surprised. Our big bead buyers aren't here today. That's the people who like them big beads. Big beads and they cannot lie.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, he says. Oh boy. This is a little shorty strand. So this was 18. I'm going to bring it down to 14. This is a 12-inch strand of vintage freshwater pearls. MW29 was 18, bringing it down to 14. These are these top drilled pearls, little drops.
I think it also depends who you ask too.
It does.
Because there are some people who they try to equate it to antiques, and that's different.
Yeah.
But like with clothes and stuff, so it's kind of a weird in-between category of clothes and antiques. And like objects, I should say, not antiques.
And cars.
And then there's one person that like, I'm not going to call it vintage because that makes me sound old. I'm like, wow.
All right, but they are. They are vintage. These are cute little pearls. Really nice color, almost a yellow, like a golden. They're like a golden color. It's a 12-inch strand of vintage freshwater pearls. MW29, only $14 for those. Okay, let me clear the decks here a little bit. Looks like we're not selling more of these. Let me take this down. That's MW22. Taking it away. Make room. It's not really weird. It's a really weird bag. Very long bag. MW22. MW23 I'm going to take away as well. Nobody wants these little flags right now. It's all right.
What's that flag? Oh.
I know.
All right. What
We're
are
gonna
we
teach
on?
them. I'm going to be on 30 soon. MW23. Let's move these back. 23, 24. Okay, 26, there's one left, in case anybody wants that. 28, there's the one left. And 29, the pearls, there's one of those available. Now, MW30. Now, here's a nice one. This one should be 90. But let's give you, let me see something real quick. 90 minus 30%.
What is it?
Moss Aqua. Moss Aqua. I'm going to bring them down. I can't quite go full. I'm going to bring them down to $68.
I know some of y'all will be hungry for it.
Moss Aqua. Beautiful deep Moss Aqua with some of that beautiful flash. These are impeccable stones. If you want some of the best, I don't think you're going to see Moss Aqua more pretty than that. Not for that price.
It's gorgeous.
It is a stunning strand. Moss Aquamarine. Let me see if I can get the light.
More moss than aqua.
They are definitely the mossy. They're the green and almost gray.
It almost looks like that black sunstone.
It does, especially with some of the flash you get out of some of these. Look at that. They're so pretty. They are faceted drops. They are graduated faceted drops. So the smallest in length is 11 millimeters, and the longest that we've got here is about 20 millimeters. Look at that 20 millimeter one right there. Beautiful Moss Aqua. One strand available. Was $90, bringing it down to $68 for you all.
It's incredible.
That's a very good deal.
Mm-hmm.
One only. Can only do that for one of them. Okay, MW31. Did you have something you wanted to pop in here with?
Huh?
Did you have something you wanted to pop in here with?
No.
You were asking me how many I got left? Or where I'm at?
I'm just hungry.
Oh, what are we eating?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let me see. 14. These were 14 times, they were $1.50 each. So that was $21. 21, but we're not going to do it at 21. Let's bring them down to 16. Almost $1 a bead for this beautiful chrysocolla. Anna says, I love the strand of Moss Aqua I got from you. Pam says, the Moss Aqua is beautiful.
No.
Yes, it is. And one strand at that price, very good price. Just saying. This is the carat weight, by the way. It's 85 carats. You see that tag on there.
That's less than $1 a carat.
Mm-hmm. For gorgeous, gorgeous stone. Less than $1 a carat.
That
These
doesn't seem right. It seems like we should be getting more.
more, I know. These are these little puffy squares in this gorgeous, gorgeous chrysocolla. And we were selling these for $1.50 each. There are, how many did I say here? 14 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 14 of them available. So bring the price down from $21 down to $16 for you all. Almost just $1 each instead of $1.50 each. Really high quality chrysocolla with good patterning and colors. They're about 14 millimeter beads.
Does anybody have any suggestions for a new series that we can watch that's
About
not
7.
stressful?
A new TV series that's not stressful.
Preferably if it's long. No, I don't want any gore or like thriller or suspense. Something like just nice.
Something easy to watch, but it has to have a point. Because Andrew does not like the
shows about people that
shows
like,
about
why
nothing.
Are we watching this?
Even though they're easy to watch, he does not like those.
No, I don't like that.
The shows about
it's just
nothing.
People complaining, basically. It's like 8 hours of people complaining nonstop about their rich white people problem, and I'm like, I don't really care.
I don't really care. Oh, we just sold 30 and 31. That's the Moss Aqua and the chrysocolla. Thank you so much.
I mean, maybe I would like to care about that if I had to worry about those problems.
You aspire to worry about those problems.
Yeah, maybe. But we were watching this preview for this show, and I was like, what is this about? Just people complaining about their fancy vacation that they're on, that they don't have to be on.
Yeah. Did you ever watch The Good Place, says Anna? Yes, I did. I don't know if Andrew watched that all with me.
Not really for me.
That wasn't his thing. Hallmark Channel, says Pam. I don't know if we get that anymore.
I don't think we get that.
Kimberly says, so totally off topic, but my husband's company randomly sent all the salesmen some swag, and he got 6 cases of oversized shirts. Everyone else got 1 box. He told the gear store people that I was mad. What? Yeah. Oh, because there were so many and nothing I could wear, so they sent me some special gear. Oh, wow.
That's nice.
That's nice.
That sounds like a good problem.
I know. Anna says, thank you, whoever saved me, with a laughing face. From the Moss Aqua?
Oh, yeah?
Is that it? Sally says Ted Lasso is really good. I've heard that. A lot of people have said that.
I don't like comedy.
Yeah, Andrew. Oh, he should have said that right away. No something light, but it can't be comedy.
But I also watch comedy secretly.
He does watch it secretly without me, but we're not allowed to watch, because I love comedy shows, like comedy sitcoms. And I'm not allowed to watch those with him, but he will watch them on his own. Secretly.
Only stand up. And it's more funny if they're Asian.
And when I try to watch stand up,
so mean, but it's like it's apt.
When I try and watch stand up on the TV, he's
some
always like,
nah. Yeah, some of the ones he picks, I'm not interested at all.
Okay, so 30 and 31 have sold. Thank you so much. It's not comedy, but a feel-good show, says Ted Lasso. Feel good? That might be too close.
Sports.
Maybe too close.
That's about sports.
Is that one about sports?
Yeah.
And it says, oh, it's nice. At least the XL you could wear for swimming in, right?
Or cut the sleeves
Kimberly
off.
says, I just got it. They sent me some leggings.
Leggings?
And a shirt, and Lululemon leggings are on the way too. I'm like, ooh, we're so fancy now, right?
So what is this company?
Sally said, Ted Lasso's light, some funny bits, but more light, and I'm always happy after an episode. Anne says, I'm lurking before going to bed. If you have Acorn, you might like Good Karma Hospital.
Okay.
I think we had Acorn. I don't think we sign up for it. We had the app.
If I'm gonna
Isn't Acorn
one, I'm gonna get that Interview with the Vampire because we didn't watch season 2 yet.
Oh no!
And I know that's probably a little bit stressful. But I can't help that.
Isn't Acorn one of the free ones though?
Nah.
No, I thought Acorn was one of the free apps.
Nah, that's the one that you had, the British one. You have to pay extra.
Let's see. Kimberly says they were all like 3 to 4X, and I'm a large. That would be swimming in shirts. Are they comfortable though? Because that makes a good night shirt. You got 6 cases of 3 to 4X size shirts. That's a good night shirt.
That's pretty big.
Still a good night shirt.
I know, but that's like a muumuu.
Kimberly says Atticus. They are based in Cary, North Carolina.
Is that tractor?
That's like that night shirt we wear that we keep.
The one that grows.
The one that grows.
I think
it is comfortable.
You got that from Brandon.
I did.
Somehow it just grows.
It was like a large. I think it was a large.
And now it's like.
And now it's like a
extra large.
Yeah. It keeps.
It comes down to my knees. Like
and I like it because it's a nice long shirt. Yeah, it was originally a large, I think, and I borrowed it one time when I didn't have a shirt or something, and he just gave me that, so I threw it on, and I still have it, and it has grown over the years to be this massively long shirt.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know. It used to be a thicker material, so somehow the material is thinning but stretching, because it used to be a thicker shirt.
You know, and the dryer doesn't shrink it.
No, it does not.
It's weird.
No. Yep. Okay. MW30. We're on 32, right? We're on 32.
I should also say no singing.
They are an ag chemical company. They were mostly hoodies, but very nice. Oh, 5X hoodies.
Can you sell it?
No. Did you send them back? What happened? Did you keep them? You got 6 cases. Did you keep them? Did you send them back? Was it a mistake? Was it for real? What's going on? We have to know more now.
In the back of your truck, we want to be like, get your hoodies.
Get your hoodies.
Sell it with the fries.
Right. There you go.
Aren't you cold?
Aren't you cold?
That's like when I used to work at the bar. I say, you look thirsty.
You look thirsty. Are you thirsty? All right. This is.
Be like, your lips look dry.
My lips feel dry now that you're talking about it.
Well, you know, and then people would be like shook, but then they would be secretly delighted.
Be like, you're right. I do need another drink.
And it doesn't actually hydrate you. If
right.
anything, it makes you more dehydrated.
Kimberly says they really take care of their employees and the families. My husband is taking them to customers.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah. So this is blue chalcedony. Look at that glowing.
Oh, that was mine.
Well, it's was $38. Now it's $30.
Oh, wow, huh? Give away my beads.
You should have grabbed it from the last time we tried to sell it. He didn't grab it, so it went back.
In my pile.
I don't know how it got out of your pile and back to the cottage.
It was at the cottage in my pile.
In your pile. I didn't pull this from any Andrew piles, I promise. Maybe there's another one still there for you.
Look how my Quinquilino does me.
And these are gorgeous. I will just say. Look at the color.
It's not dyed either.
It is not dyed. It is gemmy in some of these. Blue chalcedony. You can see that inner glow that chalcedony has, but it's blue. And these are approximately 10 millimeters, well, 10.3 by about 10.3. They're really well cut. And 7.2 thick. You get the whole strand. That is a 16-inch vintage strand. Those are gorgeous. Oh, wow, says Kimberly. And they are only $30 for the strand. One strand available. MW32. Better take them before Andrew gets them back.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Okay, I'm going to move these because they're taking up a lot of room. Huh? Look how he did me. I just pulled them from my bags. I just did what I thought was right. Sure. See how it is.
So what is that? What do we
Any
find?
other shows? Anybody's shows? Anybody recommend any more shows?
I like that N with an E, but that one is we watched it already.
We watched
several
that one.
times.
So, what was the acorn one again? That was Good Karma Hospital. Let's keep that in mind.
I
I'm
like.
going to write that
In
down.
theory, I like the premise of Good Witch. She's an entrepreneur and a business
I watched
owner,
a lot of that. You
but
stopped
then
watching.
she also don't do her own magic. She just kind of just talks in riddles.
She does talk in riddles.
And then
She does
somehow
do that.
something happens. I was like, huh? So what kind of witch is this?
What kind of witch is
Double
this?
talk witch?
Double speak.
I don't know. But that was on the Hallmark.
Yeah, we used to have that because I used to watch that quite a bit
I
actually.
think it's on the Netflix.
Oh wow. We had these at 42. Took them down to 32. I think there's 2 of them available. This is that Russian Amazonite.
Oh, can't have too much CGI.
No, he doesn't like CGI
You know,
because he can tell.
well, not only that, but I guess like it's almost like it
It
does
is,
something
it's-
to my brain. My brain shuts off when I watch the CGI,
Yeah, if it's too much CGI, it's like this isn't real at all.
and like my brain actively rejects it.
These are Russian Amazonite chips. This is a giant strand. This is 24, and it goes to, what is that, 6, which is 12. So 4, 5, 6, 36-inch strand. 36-inch strand of Russian Amazonite chips for only $32, less than $1 an inch. High quality stones. Look at those. They're drops mostly.
I'm looking forward to Stranger Things. That's also kind of stressful sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Is that coming back on?
They have one more season.
Kim says, oh yes, love the Amazonite.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty. 2 strands available. This is
How much is it?
$32.
Huh?
Yep.
For the big one?
For the big one.
Oh boy.
For the big one. Was
we
42.
Sell that 8-inch strand.
I know. We're just gonna break this up and sell it.
That is like a lot.
Sally says Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries.
Oh, I like those. Those are a little bit stressful.
Didn't we watch? Yeah, we watched some
We
of
didn't
those.
finish it.
We do that sometimes.
I don't know why, because I like Franny Fisher.
Yeah, why did we not finish that?
Well, let's see if she ends up with that dude.
These are African glass beads, older African glass. These are $6 for the lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for 10 of them.
I'm kind of interested to watch that #1 Ladies Detective Agency because I can't remember anymore.
Mm.
And I remember just really liking that show with
#1 Ladies
with
Detective.
Marmot Sway.
Oh, I barely remember
She's
that.
traditionally built.
Yeah, I don't even remember that really.
Even
That's not
though
a
the rabbits
surprise.
are named after her.
I know, but I don't remember the show.
It was a book.
Mm-hmm.
Something Alexander.
These are really pretty African beads. Old African.
You know what?
And we've just sold 34. Thank you so
Would be
much.
nice is if they made Amelia Peabody into the series.
Who's Amelia Peabody?
She's like an archaeologist, and she's supposedly a crone, but that means like 26. Because they keep talking about how she's like a spinster.
Back then.
Maybe she's like 30. But she meets this person, and then they go on like adventures, and it's like Egyptology.
Alexander McCall Smith, says Suzanne. And Pam says Elsbeth on CBS.
Oh, I heard that was good.
And these are good feeling shows.
There's like murder on that one, I think, but
there can be a little murder as long as the overall feeling, as long as the overall feeling is joy and happiness. Joyful murder. How much do you think you can do on this one? This was 38. It's super pretty.
You can do 28.
Wow. Who's giving the deals now?
Me.
This is me.
Revenge
deal. Well, we didn't sell your blue chalcedony yet, surprisingly.
Wow. Then it'll be mine.
I guess it's going to go back to you. These are stunning.
You'll return to me.
Stunning lampwork glass rondelles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them on here. They were 38. Andrew's dropping it to 28 for you all. That is the best deal on these ever, and probably the only time we'll offer them at 28. Because really, these should be like $4 a bead.
No, it should be more than that.
It should be more than that.
They're borosilicate.
So there you go.
So it's a harder glass.
Harder glass, more money.
It's basically like Pyrex.
And look at how pretty they are. Talk about summertime in glass. It's got that summertime sunset.
Is that Bobby Rhodes?
I don't know.
I think it's Bobby Rhodes made that.
But look.
From Kansas City. I don't know if he still lives there.
Is that one of the Boro boys?
It's been a minute.
And these beads are approximately about 14 millimeters, 15 millimeters, somewhere in there. One strand only. Beautiful. Best deal ever. $28. All right, let me start moving some of these since we've sold some, but not all of these. 26, we have one strand left. If anybody wants the Tiger Eye, we've still got one at $14 on them. Really nice quality Tiger Eye. 26.
What else is there?
What else is there? What?
I like the heart stopper. That was cute.
Yeah, that was cute.
They're so wholesome.
So wholesome. They are.
They're like, I just want to wait to be sure. I was like, huh. That's interesting.
It's like, is this real life?
Maybe. I'm sure there are people like that.
These pearls are still available. Only $14 as well.
I can't personally relate, but you know.
MW32. MW33. Sally says Miss Scarlet. I've never heard of that.
That's on the PBS show.
Is it?
You know, we still never finished that Paradise Inn. The Paradise.
Oh,
department store.
The department store. Yeah. I was thinking, when you said that, for some reason I was thinking of that island one we watched. Where they went and lived on that Greek island.
The Corfu.
Yeah, Corfu. Corfu.
Huh?
Corfu, I think.
Something.
Yeah.
That little boy. That was cute.
These are some beautiful chalcedony. What do you want to do on those ones, Andrew? I'll let you price them.
22.
They were 26. No, they were 28, and they're 22 now.
Those ones are nice. Corfu.
Corfu, that's what I said.
That's what you said?
Yeah. Isn't that what I said? Suzanne's heading to bed. Have a great night and a great reset. You too, Suzanne. Have a good night.
We'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back with something tomorrow.
Not selling.
Hopefully.
I don't know. We'll see.
This
Depends
is...
how quickly I can sculpt.
This looks like...
Those are sweet.
I know. They kind of look like a very good carnelian, but they're a very nice chalcedony instead.
Is it really?
Yep. It's a chalcedony, brown shaded chalcedony, large discs. You get
glow.
They are so pretty and so juicy looking. I miss our friend Charlie over on Instagram. I couldn't get on Instagram again today.
Where's Charlie?
I don't know. Look at these though. Charlie would be eating those beads.
No, I don't eat.
Don't eat the beads, right? $22 only for these. They are approximately 16 millimeter discs. MW36. Look at these coming to, like, I think these are really pretty together. These two, you get some of that brown with some of those pinks and blues. I think that's really cool together. But also, these and these are really pretty together. The brown chalcedony and the Russian amazonite. Beautiful colors.
That looks nice.
Together. And then look at this blue chalcedony with these lampwork beads. Oh, the camera makes that blue look not as blue. It's much bluer in person. But look at that. Super pretty together.
It's because you have a blue background.
Yeah,
and it washes it out.
But they're really nice. So there are those.
All creatures great and small. That's nice and heartwarming.
I know.
Sometimes stressful, but
We watched all that though, right?
yeah.
I just trust him when he says we watched everything because I don't ever remember. And like we watched All Creatures Great and Small. I could have sworn we never finished it, but he's like, no, we watched it. And then when we looked,
they had the Christmas episode.
I know. And then we looked, and it's like, yeah, that's it. He's like, see, I told you. He's like, I know, I just don't remember it. As usual. All right. This one's a super cool one.
Do I have a new season of Bake Off?
We started it, but never finished it, I think.
Oh, really?
I think we started a while ago, and I don't think we ever finished. I could be wrong about that, too, though.
No, we watched it.
I thought we didn't finish it.
No, we did. We took a break for like a couple of months.
Oh, maybe that's why. This is MW37. This is like a puzzle piece, hand-carved bone.
Then we watched pottery.
Yes, we did. This is kind of flat on the back, but carved on the front. This is made out of bone, and it is approximately 19 millimeters by 34, and it is drilled through the top. So it's a nice little pendant. It is only $6, and there's only one of these left. We had a number of these for a while, and we're down to the last one, which is, I think, a really good specimen of these. I think it has really good coloring to it. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? But they're made to look like puzzle pieces, and there's one of those available. MW37.
You know what we also didn't finish? Shogun.
Shogun, Lucifer.
That is stressful. I don't know why we don't finish that. Lucifer.
Because it's long and there's...
You know, I don't know.
I liked watching Lucifer, but you decided to stop at one point. You didn't want it anymore for a while. I don't know why.
I like that show.
I did too.
But you know, it's very formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, after a while, it's kind of like watching the same thing over and over.
Because you
And that
figure
would
things
cap at,
out
like, 3
faster.
hours of that.
You figure things out a lot faster than I do. He's like, you want me to tell you who did it? He's one of those people. At least he's learned not to just shout it out now.
I'll be sure to shout it out.
He's like, now I will.
So you can enjoy.
You can enjoy. 37 just sold. Thank you so much.
Thank you. How many more are we going to do?
I'm going to 40.
Okay.
Because I know you're hungry.
It seems like it just keeps going.
We're not hit to 40 yet. Oh.
It's okay.
It's okay, he says. Let me see how many of these we've got. Oh, these fluoresce. There's 20, so I think we'll do 2 lots of 10. 10. And they were $1.50 each, so that would have been what, $15. Let's take them down to 10.
Somebody said I should finish White Lotus.
I like what I've liked the ones we've watched. Just so you can see, these definitely glow under a black light.
I don't know. It's kind of stressful. And then brown people don't do well on that show. So I don't know about that.
Oh, Sally says, I could never get into Shogun. I liked Lucifer, but I stopped after a couple seasons too.
I hear it gets like, he gets like nickety doo.
Pam says, I finished Lucifer. Tears for me at the end. Sally asks, do we have a new book club book for book club?
Nope.
No, we do not.
Nobody recommended anything.
Yeah, no one actually recommended any of them in the group.
And you know what? I actually never finished my project.
No?
Nope.
So these are
still looking at me.
Green and purple, great for Halloween colors. About 7 millimeters by 22 millimeters. And you get 10 beads. So it's $10 per 10 beads. And we have 2 lots available. This is antique Czech glass. MW38. Really cool beads. And they do glow under a black light really well. They've got lots of it in there. Super glowy.
I was listening to some Danielle Garrett books, but I had to take a break.
Who is Daniel Garrett?
She's like it's kind of like those cozy witch books.
Oh.
Again, I listened to so many of them that they almost become like one.
Uh-huh.
And so I listened to another person who does that, Molly Harper. She just came out with a new one a couple days ago.
All right, we have 7 of these available. You know. They are $6 each. And these are carved bone, dyed bone connectors. So they have 2 holes, one at the top, one at the bottom. And they're sliced nice and thin. They're dyed bone. And they would make great earrings. They're super light, super thin, but lots of interest on them. They're very interesting. Nice patterns. 25 millimeters by 31.5 millimeters. There are, you could use them either way, up and down, this way, that way. $6 each, 7 of them available. MW39.
Try to watch Vampire Diaries again, but I don't know whatever happened to that.
How much do you think on this one?
$10.
$10. That's what I was going to do too. And this is the last one. MW40. $10.
Well, we started watching the Legacy or whatever. Remember?
No.
It's like that school.
Oh, I kind of remember
CW.
something about that. Yeah.
But then I was like, did I miss something? I missed something.
Susan looks like MW39 looks almost like a cave entrance, right? Well, then we also, yeah, because we were watching the Vampire Diaries.
Never finished that.
Never finished that either.
And we never finished them old ones, originals.
The original.
You know, I think what ends up happening is like reach a saturation point with those. Like in the old times, you'd watch that like one, and then you have a week, and then you watch it.
When you're binging,
and then it's kind
there's
of
like one after another
and
after
then
another.
sometimes
after another.
they had it's just like complaining nonstop, and they're like they live forever, so it's like nonstop complaining forever.
These are 14 millimeter rounds. These are a dyed, I think a dyed agate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a crackle.
And then sometimes they're like, oh, remember that one time about 2 centuries ago that you pissed off somebody? Oh, well, they're back now and they're vendetta time. It's like, do some crafts.
Do some crafts.
Go do something with your life.
And this is a shorter strand. I think this is a 10-inch strand.
You know what we tried to get into, just couldn't get into? The shadows one. What we do in the shadows.
So that's for those of you who like the pink. I know some of you do. May or may not be watching tonight, but just in case. There it is. And that is the list of 40 for tonight, y'all. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Again, this may not have been expressed well, but we are still doing lives. We are just not doing selling lives, hopefully starting tomorrow. We'll see how we do tonight and with the end of our online sale. We can start our reset week tomorrow. Sally asked, did you watch the Dresden Files? One of my favorite book series, but only one season on TV. I like the show, but just didn't catch on with Wizard fans.
You know who would make a good Dresden, Harry Dresden, is, well, I don't know how tall that guy who plays Spike is, but he does James Marster. He does the books. But you know, the problem I have with him doing the audiobooks is sometimes when he gets... I'm like, what did you say? Grandpa can't hear. Speak up and enunciate. When he starts getting that smolder talk, then I'm like, I want to hear.
I would like
what
to
y'all
hear.
Getting up to.
Right.
Don't be your eyes get dark and you start to smolder at your friend.
Start to smolder at your friend.
And somehow he always ends up naked in the book.
Isn't that the way?
Well, that's all right. That's natural.
That's natural. Great show again, says Pam. Thank you all so much. And we'll be back here tomorrow at some point with something else. Andrew is going to release some of his polymer clay, so it may not be a completely reset day. But I think it's worth getting him to show these because they look. You did, and they look good. And I even helped with prep.
What did you do?
I ran them through the machine.
Oh, the clay.
Yeah.
I was like, what did you do?
What did you do? It. I said with prep. My prep work helped.
That's hot again.
I know. We got to go anyway. Thank you all so much for hanging out.
See ya.
We appreciate the support, and we'll see you here with something, some kind of show tomorrow. All right. Have a great one, everyone. Bye now.
See ya.